Well, I guess that's not going to work too well. Wow. What a way to start the show on 420. Are you serious right now? I am not even high yet, and this is how it's going to start? We're going to start the show like that? Oh, my God. How embarrassing is this? I don't even know if I'm on YouTube or Facebook or what's going on here now. Are you kidding me right now? This is how we're going to start the show. I spent all night testing this out, and now you're going to tell me this is... Ugh. All right. Are we on YouTube? Are we on We're not on Facebook. I have no audio from my computer. What the hell happened here? I lost my audio. Oh my God, this is so hurtful right now. Oh, really? What a way to start the show, man. We'll try it again. Roll 'em. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's 420. Happy 420, everybody. Smoke 'em up. We have a great, great day planned for you here. We got a few things to take care of first, though. Before we start partying and getting all crazy, we have actually some activism to take care of. We have a young boy, 17 years old, with autism and pandas. And if you don't know what pandas is, you can Google it. It's a very severe autism, and the poor kid is beating himself up. He just put his head through a car window. Yeah, he put his head through a car window. So Lori is beside herself. She's trying to figure out what type of cannabis to give him. She's giving him oil right now, but she needs something fast acting. So when he does try to hurt himself, to give him something fast acting to knock him out. She does have GG4 that she got from the dispensary for him. So we need to find a way to either make a tincture for her, or Rick Naya just said, we'll be talking to him in a few minutes, making an aerosol spray of the oil to put in his nose. That's interesting. I think that might work too. She needs options. She's She's one of our first recipients of the Garen Angel's Magical Butter Machine. Garen Angel gave her a Magical Butter Machine like 3 or 4 years ago. And very, very helpful. Very helpful machine for her. So we're going to take care of that today. First of all, we got to make a few phone calls here. Is this going to work? We're going to call Lori. We're going to call Rick. We're going to call Mike and Aubrey, who are hanging out making edibles. Tommy Lyons is down in Maryland. I don't know what he's doing, but we're going to talk to him. Red Blazer, Grandma Cat, Jim Miller we're going to call. We got Ken Wolski, Betty Buds, Jay Lassiter, Mama Bear, Patrick Duff, Grandma Cat Jeter, Bill Caruso, Jeff Oakes, Joanne Zito, Warren Bobrow, Chucky, Honeybee, Charlena. Who did I miss? New Jersey Weed Man, William Haney. It's going to be a great, great full show here for you. We got a lot of stuff going on, but we need to take care of this first. I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me? No, of course not. Why would you hear me? Okay, let's do it this way. Oh. Okay. Hello. You're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
Happy 420 from the Pines.
Happy 420. All right, can do me a favor. You got to host a show because I have to light the bong. I have to light the 8-foot bongholio bong. So host a show. Ready? Go. Go, Sean.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Stay out of trouble. Don't pass the joint.
Okay, the bong's lit. I lit the bong.
Hit that bong.
Now I got to torch it. Hang on, I got to torch it now.
I'm waiting.
What are you smoking on, Sean?
Grandma. A little lemon drop, you know. It's the Pines. What you smoking on, Lefty?
I saved some rosin, some hash rosin for this 8-foot bong today.
Oh, I bet you that's something. I don't hear you coughing. Are you really inhaling?
I'm torching.
Are you pulling that Bill Clinton?
Listen, I'm torching. It's my torch.
It sounds like you're taking a shower.
All right, here we go.
Well, I just want to wish you a happy 420.
Thank you,
Give you
brother.
love from the Pines. Hey, everybody, stay safe out there. Stay the fuck inside. Keep smoking. And most of all, send love to those who can't get none. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. Give a 10% tithing to someone who needs it.
Fuck 10%. Give it all. Give everything you can to those who can't get. God will receive and will give. Believe that. I love you all. Be safe. Oh, I got a question, Lex.
You asked me a question while I'm hitting on an 8-foot bong? Yeah, that's real fair. Real fair. I'm hitting an 8-foot bong. I'm supposed to answer a question? Are you serious? Oh. Thanks, buddy. Oh, my goodness. All right. I have to find the phone number here. Jeez, I thought I had it. Okay. We'll try this again. That was my buddy Sean. Oh, man. Wow, that was a nasty hit. I shouldn't have taken that hit till I got a co-host on the show. I'm working on it. It's coming. Here it comes. Oh, boy. I hope this phone works. Okay. Oh, that was a big one. Yeah, that's Mike and Bongholio with no arms.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie. How are you? Happy 420.
Good morning. Happy 420. Not exactly what we had in the works, but it's something.
Yeah, this is what we planned. When we planned to have a month of 420s, we didn't, if you said to us, hey, we're going to stay home for 420 the whole month and just eat food and eat pizza and smoke weed, we thought it'd be a little different than this, though, didn't we?
Yeah.
A little more fun. I'm having fun, though. I'll tell you who's not having fun, though. We got to take care of some activism. Before we start partying and getting crazy, we got to take care of Lori and Ian. They're suffering, and it's really messed up what's going on over there. We got to help this child. He's 17 years old.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you saw what I was telling you before. He has autism and pandas,
Right.
which is
I'll help with anything I possibly can.
it's awful. It's awful the way we're suffering in New Jersey, and we're not getting taken care of by the dispensaries. We're really not. They're not following Jake's law at all.
He is in New Jersey?
He's in New Jersey. Yeah, he's in New Jersey, and he's a patient. His mom uses.
I can definitely do probably a lot more than I thought I could, actually.
Okay.
I thought he was in Virginia for some reason.
No, they want to move to Virginia. This is the deal. They want to move to Virginia because of the letterboarding issue. He letterboards. He can't communicate verbally, so he letterboards with a group in Virginia. There's a huge letterboarding group in Virginia. And apparently there's not one here in New Jersey, which is shocking to me. I'm like, where's the letterboarders in New Jersey?
There probably is, but maybe look under, like I said, the picture exchange communication system. That'll probably be a good starting point, at least for New Jersey, I know. And like I said, even if you wanted to try to communicate with them, there's a lot of applications now that you can use to make any device letterboard or picture exchange so that there's at least some communication.
There you go. I got your picture up now. There's Jamie. Sorry, I'm a little late on the ball today. I just took, don't blame me. I just took a huge bong hit from an 8-foot bong. So, okay, I'm a little slow right now. Just give me a minute. Look at how cute Bongholio looks all lit up. Isn't that cute? Isn't that great? So happy.
I thought Mikey was there.
No, he's making edibles. He's home making edibles, and he's probably baked right now.
Oh, goodness.
Him and Aubrey, they're just, oh, yeah, they're having fun over there. Making the best of it.
I'm on herbal tea, but it's definitely medicated.
What did you medicate it with?
Kind of butter.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Put it in everything.
So, yeah, we've been busy doing our, working on our 501c3 and getting things together for our nonprofit. We have a lot of issues to cover. One of them is wheelchair ramps. Thank you for the compliment on the wheelchair ramp. It's not done. I have to take it apart. Jamie, you were right. I have to take it apart and make 2 ramps because I have to go up for a height of 7.5 inches on this thing.
Not an I told you so person, but I don't mind hearing you were right.
It's too big. It's just too big. I can't. 7.5 inches is a big ramp, and it's too heavy. So yeah.
So maybe take my troubleshooting advice before you.
I have to learn for myself. I never did this before. I'm just learning. I'm actually enjoying learning the whole process of it because now I know. I did a little measurement here with Legos. I just did like a little step to see how the steps are. And you need to go to you need to follow the ADA when you make these ramps. You really do. You can't go too high. You can't. You got to do it the right way. And it can't be too heavy.
You should have had blueprinting and drafting.
Yeah, I never took that. You're good at that, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, you don't like to listen, so what does it matter?
I do listen. The second time. I listened the second time.
Okay.
Sometimes the third time.
Well, we'll see. There was also someone else that was saying that she would love to do some woodworking ramps. Jessie, somebody? I saw a comment on something of yours.
Okay.
Jessie Nicole, maybe?
Okay. Awesome. We need some help, man. We need help.
Yeah.
If you're home right now and you have a bunch of Legos, you can make your own Lego ramp. Seriously, just make a huge, get a big plate for the bottom, like 2 or 3 of them, 4 of them, and just start making a ramp. It's fun. If you're bored, or send me their Legos, I'll make it. And we have a bunch to do in Bayonne, Hudson County, all over, man. It's horrible. But so thank you, Jamie. Anyway, anything else?
Thank you.
Can we promote something for you?
Not very self-promoting now.
Nothing to promote. No, you don't. You're just very helpful. You're a very helpful person. You just always like to help people. And you've actually been arrested in Camden 3 times for feeding the homeless people, which just amazes me. I'm just shocked that people get arrested for feeding other people, like helping people. You're helping somebody, and they're arresting you for helping.
Are you calling the mom and?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be listening.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a call in about 2 minutes. She's working till like 11:30, so I have to catch her after work. Otherwise, I would have called her.
What county are they in?
I believe they're up here by me.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay.
I remember going there one day. I forget where it was. Yeah, Garen Angel gave them a magical butter machine years ago, and it was very helpful to Ian. He's been suffering for a long time. He hurts himself. He hits himself. Can you imagine if your brain had explosions going off? You'd be banging your head against the wall too. It's just, I can't imagine what these kids go through with it's terrible. And they're not going to treat this like medicine. They're going to give us lines going around the dispensary while children like this are
incredibly
suffering.
difficult too. A lot of people are talking about like home education. I don't like to call it homeschooling because even homeschoolers get out to educational outings. But there's a lot of children home right now that are not getting their behavioral modification. They're not getting speech therapy. And I'm not really sure what's going to happen with all of their behavioral data for their IEPs, their IHP goals. So there's different levels to things that a lot of people aren't experiencing. A lot of support that families and young people and adults are not getting right now.
Yeah, that's another problem because I know a lot of kids moved out of state to go other places. Like Jenny Storms moved to Colorado. She can't get a lot of the services that she gets in New Jersey out in Colorado. She gets better cannabis, but not the better hospital services and not the better social services. So I see that, yeah, that's an issue. That's a big issue. But anyway, thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Happy 420.
Happy 420. And what are you smoking on now? You going to smoke something?
Grape Stomper and Blueberry Papers.
Okay. Right on.
Breakfast.
Right. Enjoy it. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Happy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm not hanging up on people today, no. Today's a celebration day. I'm not going to hang up on people. It's just mean-spirited. Not a day for that. Well, maybe. We'll see. Wait till William calls in. Oh, man. All right, well, what are you all smoking on? What's in the chat here? Whoa, a lot of people on the chat here. Sorry. Hey, what's up, Anthony, Ryan, Marina, Betty? Hey, what's up? Look at you guys. How come Governor Murphy isn't helping us? Mm-hmm. Governor Murphy, he's a little busy, I guess. You know, this is unbelievable that there's lines going around dispensaries and there's poor children suffering. I mean, these mothers and families and fathers need less hoops to jump through, not more. Less hoops. Hello, you're on the air. Happy 420. Oh, shoot. Hello.
I guess you were trying to ignore me.
Hold on. Oh, God, really? This is not working. Hold on. Okay, there you go. You're on the air. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, happy 420.
Happy 420. What's going on?
I'm missing Trenton today, but yeah, you got to split that ramp up into two panels that need to be about 6 to 10 inches wide each one, and then grade up from there. So that way, it'll work perfectly. Lays nice and sweet, great grounds right up to exactly where you need to, and is not too heavy to carry around.
Yeah, this is it right here. It's about a 10-inch flat panel. Put two of these together, maybe three, make a longer ramp. It's a learning experience for me. I didn't know, and it's super heavy. Like, I'm not even finished with it yet, and it's super heavy. So this is not going to work.
Yeah, you just do the two like separated into the split. Like, I mean, you posted the pictures, Lefty. No offense, but
I know. I did post
you
them.
posted.
I got to learn for myself. I just, I didn't know. I'm learning.
Yeah. Well, it's a process. We're doing good down here, working on a couple of ramps ourselves to bring up. It's been keeping Austin occupied while he's home educating, which I definitely agree with Jamie. There's a huge difference between homeschooling and what's happening now. So it's tough out there. But hey, I saw some things as far as ways to help the kid that you're talking about.
Yeah.
California, they have an inhaler, a THC inhaler.
Yeah, he needs something really quick acting that's going to slow him down, slow his roll, because he's running around just wanting to hurt himself on a rampage. And it's not good. Hurting himself like that. No.
That's definitely horrible. It's the worst.
Yeah.
But and also, a lot of patients, especially, and a lot of people in general, have been really finding a lot of anxiety assistance right now with hemp, with just a high CBD hemp. Like, it's been a saving grace. I've been smoking some CBG. It's from our friends at Pure Puff.
Eric.
Yes, purepuff.com now. Everybody check the site out. Picked up some the white CBD, and it is fantastic. It's really great as far as, anxiety. It's good for your joints. It's good for inflammation. It's just great. Like, it's even helping me cut back on my vape. So, it's definitely something to consider and look out, check out. But when you talk to Tommy later on, see if he's got any ideas as well, because, they're kicking some butt and taking names down there in Maryland, and that would be really, good to see what their input is, especially because they already work with some kids, with Connor's Courage, with Connor Sheffield, and Raina. I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name at this moment, but they're working on getting notice to Governor Hogan for him to sign in Connor's and Raina's law, which would allow kids in Maryland to take their medication in school instead of having to go through the long process of in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey, it doesn't seem like that's too much of an issue. I've spoken to several school systems, several different townships and communities that down here, at least, it seems like the school board attitudes are, if the kid's got a prescription, it can be done through the nurse's station, and that's it. And they even will allow CBD to do the CBD gummies while in school, as long as it's given from the nurse's office. But of course, they have to have a note or letter from the doctor as well. But they seem to be honoring it. We're having issues in other ways, obviously, but it seems like I guess it's easier to take care of kids because, one, they're not in the school buildings right now, and number two, we don't have that many that are patients, so it's the rest of us that are suffering. I'm now to Congressman Norcross in reference to allowing home grow, especially right now. We, as patients, we can fix our own problems that we're having right now. We can cut down the lines. We can give us the safe social distancing. We can provide our own medication, the strains that we need, if they would allow us to home grow. That's the reality of it. Like, we can fix our own problem. They just don't want to hear us. So I'm still working on Norcross. I'm going to get to him. I'm working my way up his aid chain, and I'm getting good feedback. So, I'm hopefully I want to get a sit down with them because they're just not addressing this at all. With all of the videos that they've been doing, they do a town hall like once a week where you submit your questions, and they're supposed to answer every one of them. I've gotten every question I put in. I get the confirmation that it's been received. No answer. It's like it's not happening. So
you got to pretend you're Republican. You got to look more Republican. Wear red. Put your hair back. Put on some pearls.
So is that it? Go back to the red hair. I can borrow a pair of pearls. But I've got an old school suit that I can button up.
Yeah, pantsuit.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's about what we need right now.
Well, thank. Tracy, what are you smoking on today? What do you got going on there?
Some GMO Kush.
Oh, okay. I have GMO rosin. Hold on, let me get that, and I'll join you. Hold on, we'll do some cannabis pairing.
Sounds good. I'm definitely enjoying it. It's very comforting. It's relaxing, and another tip that I got from Pure Pest was to mix my hemp with in my joints, and I'm loving it. Nice. It's a good mix. Something to try. So, are you puffing? I can't see you.
Yeah.
It's like Facebook's frozen, so.
Yeah, I'm a little delayed. I'm gonna puff and pass off.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. All right. Well, I don't want to tie the lines up for everybody else, but thank you for everything you guys are doing. We're working hard down in South Jersey, and when Austin and I get our ramp complete, should be finished by the end of the week. We'll figure out how to get it up to you guys up there, so that way we can place the ramp.
Awesome. How what's your measurements? I can give you a measurement of any place in Bayonne. There's a bunch of different places: 5 inches, 4 inches, a couple of inches, 2 inches, a 2-inch ramp we need. Bunch of them.
Oh, well, send them down to me. Right now, we're working on a 5-inch grade.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
The regular, like the most common one when I was, what seems to be the lift height, 5 inches seems to be, the most common one that is necessary. And if you really go too much higher, like the 10-inch ones, you have to grade them out so far that it's a lot of freaking Legos.
It won't work. No, you can't do 7 inches is about the top of the list. 7.5. You can't go any higher.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were finding out too.
Yeah.
That's about it. You can't go any higher for weight.
Nope. Yep.
For length of ramp.
Right.
It makes it kind of defeats the purpose if we make them too heavy.
Yeah.
About 5-inch grade, and you do the 2 slates instead of the one big one like what you're already working on. You do the 2 slates. They still end up being close to 10 pounds a piece, but it's easier to carry 10 pounds with you than it is to not be able to have the access. So, they're good. We can work that. I'm sure we can find a way to find a way.
Thank you, Tracy.
No problem. Anytime, guys.
Happy 420.
Grow now. Happy 420. Thank you, Lefty, for being out there for us and holding this today. And hopefully we'll get back in Trenton soon. If I get anywhere with Norcross, I'll let you know. There's another town hall this week that, of course, I will be involved in. Keep going from there, guys. We homegrown now.
See ya.
Hashtagging Jeff's Law.
Jeff's Law and Vote Cannabis 2020. See ya. All right. That's Tracy McHugh. I didn't have a picture for her. Sorry. I I got pictures for a lot of people. I got to put one up for her. This is cool though. I got a lot of good stuff today here. This is I'm gonna give Lori a call now. All right, let's give her a call. I hope my phones work. Yeah, they're working. All right, let's work on this situation before we start partying. Let's fix this problem. At least get an answer.
Hello.
Hi, Lori. You're on the air. How you doing?
Hey, Lefty. Good. How are you?
Okay. Awesome. I have a couple of answers for you already, and we got to talk about.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah. The problem is, let's talk about the problem first. Your son Ian has autism and pandas. Am I saying it right? Pandas. Yeah. And
Pandas are pans. Yeah.
And sometimes he hurts himself. He hits himself. He'll hurt himself. He'll bang his head. And you need a faster acting cannabis to get him to calm down quicker than what you're already using, because you're using oils and stuff, right?
I'm using the oils, and it's taken about a half an hour. Are you referring to the answers you have are within Virginia or with a different type of cannabis?
What you're using now, whatever you're using now to calm him down, it seems to be taking too long to calm him down. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
I mentioned using a tincture, but Rick Naya said that you can also take your oil and put it in an aerosol and put it up his nose.
Excuse me 1 second. I think we're having an episode upstairs. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Lefty.
Okay. Oh my. You see, 420 isn't happy for everybody. You have to understand this. There's people suffering today. There are sick people that are patients that are suffering, and right now, man, that's rough. So, yeah, this has to happen quick. We need to find him an answer. So, an aerosol. Oh man, he needs to get. Oh boy. He put his head through a window. Car window. I mean, come on, man. We got to help this kid out because not every family.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hi, is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, good.
Just a little. I don't know what happened.
Oh boy. He hurt himself recently. He put his head through a car window. You said, "Oh man."
He did. Yeah. With the.
Ouch.
And that's why it's so important to have the cannabis.
Yeah.
And as I discussed, we were considering moving out of state for other reasons, for therapists and teachers that we've been working with online. But the particular state that we were looking to move, they don't have, from what I can tell, even by looking at the government website, it's a little unclear, even looking at the government website, whether it's legal. I don't think it's legal yet. So that's obviously a big problem for us.
Yeah, Virginia does have a cannabis law. It's no flowers. It's just oils and tinctures, but that's exactly what you need.
Is it passed, though? It's unclear to me whether it's actually passed. And is it can you get the cards now?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like now, but I think the virus has slowed everything down, the process. It was supposed to happen already, I believe. It may be happening. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm really digging, trying to find out because, if we moved there and couldn't get it, that would be a bigger problem.
Right. You would probably need to get it before you move down there. Get a doctor's lined up.
But yes, definitely.
His social programs down there. There's something called letterboarding that he does with a group down there in Virginia.
Correct.
What is letterboarding?
So, letterboarding or keyboarding, he has unreliable speech. So, what it is, he points to letters on a laminate board or on a keyboard, depending upon where his body is that day. Sometimes it's harder for him to use the keyboard, so we use a laminate board. And this is how he communicates because of the unreliable speech. There's a lot of people think, these kiddos with autism and that have these quote unquote behaviors, it's a cognitive deficit, and it's really not. It's more of a motor deficit. We're actually quite intelligent, and since he's been on the keyboard and the laminate board, it's just opened up a whole new world for him. The academics that he's doing is just mind-blowing. He's actually writing a book with one of his teachers in Atlanta. So there just seems to be a very large community in not only the Northern Virginia, D.C. area, also in Atlanta. There are some spellers here in New Jersey, but they're scattered, and I just have not been able to find any professionals that are trained in this.
And he wants to go to college, from what I understand, right?
He wants to go to college, yeah. He wants to do something with the animals.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So that's why we're looking, into a move where we can give him the best shot at that, and where, there's more opportunities.
Right. What I talked to Rick, and we'll talk to him later. He can listen in. He'll explain more. But he says with the oil you're using now, your GG4, I think you said you have some high THC.
I use primarily the HH just for daily regulation, and that's been really, really great. But when he has, like some sort of really major outburst, then I'll go to the GG4. So I have that as a backup.
What he said to do is to make it into an aerosol and put the aerosol spray in his nose when he has his issues. They actually have that drug, something like that, Epidiolex or something like that. But yeah,
okay.
Aerosol. Try the aerosol with what you have now. You don't need to do anything different. Try. I believe. Listen to Rick. Rick will tell you more in a few minutes. But aerosol up his nose is, from what I hear, that might be an answer. An answer. You need different You need a lot of options. So we'll get options for you. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're finding that it's shorter lived. You know what I mean? When he has these, it's they're very episodic. And they can go on for a very long time, or they can last like just 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. But yeah, when it happens, like you really do need that quick onset.
And how is he doing today? Is he okay today?
He was fine earlier. We just did a psychology class with one of his teachers online, and he took a bath, and he got out of the bathtub and just has been a little dysregulated. Nothing horrible, but there's a little bit of dysregulation going on today for whatever reason. Once he gets regulated and I'm off the call later today, I'll try to tap in and get him to spell. He'll usually tell me, what's going on. If he can articulate it, if he knows. Sometimes he doesn't know. He just says, my body's out of control. I don't know why I did it, things like that.
Does he have like, I know sometimes it's explained as if there's like little explosions going off in their brain and they don't know how to deal with these zaps that are happening that in their brain and that makes them want to hit their head. I mean, I can't imagine what
It could be that. It could be like, overgrowth of gut bacteria, is something else that we've looked at. The onset of, like the whole thing with the PANS is, with pandas, it started out with a strep infection. If it goes untreated and it's ongoing, and it can turn into PANS, which anytime you get any type of illness or any type of bug, it can just trigger that immune response, and you can get severe OCD. It's very quick and dramatic. You can get OCD, you can get tics, changes in personality, behavior, moodiness, irritability, you name it. So there's a lot of different theories out there, really.
Wow, that's scary. So he cannot be. He's a person that's at risk during this corona situation, right? Or no?
Yeah, we haven't had blood work in a while, but yeah, because of the immune stuff, I would say so. We haven't had his blood work, but his levels were low. So yeah, we're taking extra precautions certainly with him.
Yeah. Wow. Well, we're gonna get some answers today for you. And like I said, the aerosol is a pretty great idea. I like that. And
yeah, I do too. Yeah, we just have to, be guided or know where to look to obtain the information on how to make that.
Okay, Lori, thank you so much. And like I said, we're going to help you today. We're spending our 420 helping you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to figure out answers for you. We're going to find letterboarders in Jersey. We need to find letterboarders. If you know letterboarders in Jersey, please hit us up. Hit us up on chat. Let us know. We want Ian needs people to talk to and interact with.
Thank you, Lefty.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks, Lori.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
That's Lori Marcus. She's great. Like I said, she got the magical butter machine from us years ago, and she's been dealing with this for a long time. I can't imagine. So like I said, 420 isn't a celebration for everybody. Right now, there's parents that are taking care of their kids who are having seizures, who are sick. There's people with cancer. There are people with MS. There are people that are suffering right now that are barely able to put on this computer and watch this, but they're out there. And we're here to help you any way we can. So if you can help Lori, if you know any answers to these questions, please help us out. Let's talk to, all right, hold on. This is why I need a producer. I'm not going to complain today, but, it would be nice if I didn't have to sit here with dead air while I'm looking stuff up. All right, let's get to this now. Please, phones, please work. Yes. It's little victories in life.
Hello?
Rick, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. Good. Happy 420, bro.
Yep, happy 420 to you too and my family in New Jersey.
Whoop, whoop. What are you smoking on? Which pound did you grab this morning?
I had several varieties. I had Straw Dog and some original OG Kush that I fired off on this morning.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've been all over the place. I've done a couple of shows already, and now with my Jersey fan, and I'm really happy that you invited me to share some love.
Yeah, I actually need your help. Like I said, we have this woman with Lori with Ian, and he has pandas and autism. And I think she really liked your idea about the aerosol. I think that's a great idea. And she can use her regular oil that she uses now, her GG4 oil, in the aerosol.
Wow, I think the aerosols are actually very good way for adolescents and children that have diseases or issues that can receive it without such heavy doses, and they can work their way into it and stabilize them.
Yeah, he needs something fast-acting like that.
Yeah, the fastest acting ways, as we know, would be to inhale it. So if you could either breathe it through your nasal passages with a mist, a fine mist for a child or for an adolescent, it would be a quick way for them to receive the dose without having to smoke it or take a capsule or medically, which is a little bit more difficult to control.
Yeah, he has problems doing that. I don't think he can do that yet.
Yeah, dosing can be very difficult for children who have neurological problems. Sometimes you have to wait till they have an episode, and then it's a little too late. And then you don't want to over-medicate them, so you're caught in a catch-22 for your own children's health and wellness.
Yeah, New Jersey's sad, man. There's a lot of people out there suffering today, and that's who I want to speak out to right now, all the people that are out there hurting, because you know what? They're really hurting. There's dispensary lines at Breakwater and at other dispensaries. 5 hours. Who can wait 5
Yeah,
hours?
that's unheard of anywhere. I mean, I can't even understand how they would even allow that. That's just either by appointment only or something, but to have people waiting that long in line is just unacceptable.
People with Crohn's, you're asking them to drive an hour, then wait 5 hours. It's not.
Yeah, it's insidious. Just like New Hampshire, we've only got 3 dispensaries in the state and 4 different locations, and they're spread out, all over the state. It's very difficult for patients, and especially the ones that need it the most. And they may be bedridden or at home, and they can't get out. They're limited to caregivers. They can't grow at home. So it's very difficult for patients that are very ill here in New Hampshire. They need to open more competition and more dispensaries.
There's no home grow in New Hampshire.
Not yet. We're fighting for that now. In fact, we have a bill, 1643, that's in now, but because of the corona, we're not able to have hearings.
How are you going about getting home grow? Because we're trying to do that in New Jersey, and we're just getting stonewalled here in New Jersey. Is it?
Well, all we're trying to do, for a patient is allow it to have 2 plants at home. But then our rec bill is 6 plants. So we're trying to bring a balance between medical and recreational. But we don't have a recreational program. We only have a bill in now to allow adults to grow 6 plants, consume what they grow, and share 3/4 of an ounce with their neighbor or friend. No selling retail market yet.
But you can share.
Well, that's what we're hoping to do if they do allow us to the home grow.
That works.
Well, it does, because we don't create a real illicit market. There's no retail for it. So it's a gift.
Huh. But 2 plants, how's that going to work? Can you do 2 plants?
Like many people know, I can grow probably, 6 or 8 pounds on 2 plants outdoor. And if you're a skilled crafter, indoor 2 plants can also yield enough for your 60 and 90-day supply. But as most people know, we're not experts, and the yield that comes from these inexperienced growers isn't enough, and they're still left in that space that they have to go to medical facilities.
Yeah, we need the co-ops, because there's some people that just want to grow their own weed for their own strain, so they have their own strain, but they physically can't do it. They physically just they need someone to help them.
That's correct. So a co-op, what I'm going to try and do, and as we expand here in New England, is bring the larger corporations in line with the gray market and the early or the latter entry cannabis businesses to try to bridge together and help patients receive free medical cards and free cannabis at a scale, and try to help the community and give back. Because what we've done is allowed these huge corporations to monopolize it financially, and it's taken away from the craft growers and the people who fundamentally created the industry.
Yeah.
So by giving us our balance back, it'll help not only the large corporations, it'll help the small guys in exchanging of their labels, and we can share within the community and help socioeconomic reforms that way.
Do you have any politicians that are helping you in this, and who's your biggest opponent up there?
Well, New Hampshire's a fickle place when it comes to politics, especially in cannabis. It's really complicated.
Jersey too.
Yeah, we don't point it at anybody but the governors. The governors are the ones that veto, and they just don't want to listen to the voice of the people. They listen to the teachers unions, the police unions, and just the police state. So it's very difficult.
Maybe you need a cannabis union up there.
Inevitably, I'm sure that'll come.
We have them here in New Jersey. There's one called the UFCW, and they're in Garden State dispensary.
Wow.
They're good. They're actually really good.
That's nice to have that. Inevitably, like I said, employers will have to be prepared that these employees will unionize.
Yeah, sometimes they don't want that for obvious reasons, but hey.
I don't know where to place that. I think that's part of life. We always go through it.
Let me ask you a question now. If you have the coronavirus and you sneeze on a cannabis plant, do you have to destroy that cannabis plant?
Well, that's a good question. Many dispensaries we know of have had employees that have been infected, and I don't know what they've done with the cannabis that they've distributed or brought in and processed. That's a really good question to think about.
Yeah, I just wonder what these dispensaries are doing. What's their protocol for a sick worker and the plants that sick worker worked on?
Right.
And how long do we stay away from those plants? I mean, the virus won't stay on a surface for that long. Maybe a day or maybe a plant. I don't know. Who knows?
That's a good point. God only knows.
Yeah. Well, God knows.
That's a good question. That should be brought up on my new show, The Rick Naya Show.
Oh, tell me about that.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm working with Disrupt America, and gathering sponsors of friends that I've been with throughout all the years I've been in the cannabis industry, and bringing them an opportunity to be heard and have their products shown and help bridge exactly what I was talking about. Bringing together the large corporations with the small guys and exchanging ideas with one another to help support a common sense balance and social economic balance that we need.
And what is your show called?
The Rick Naya Show.
Oh, that's
It'll be on Facebook, on YouTube, and Disrupt America, and their syndicate.
Sweet. Nice.
It's going to be awesome. I'll have you on the show, too. When the time comes, it'll be a weekly show. We'll do it once a day, Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And I'll be inviting special guests and House representatives, senators, and governors, and manufacturers, owners, and board members of the larger corporations in the cannabis arena, and discussing everything that we talk about and bring it to the forefront.
Yeah, I need more than 2 plants. 'Cause I'm not too good. I'll probably screw up a few. If I have 2 plants, I'll mess them up. I'll kill them both. Come on, man.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I've been growing for about 45 years. I've got a green thumb.
All right, I got to come learn from you.
Well, I'll be releasing my annihilated brands and illegal genetics and my elite legacy group varieties this year.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, so you're going to be seeing some very rare heirloom land races that we've developed that no one in the world has ever even tried them yet. We put them in a vault. We try them once, and then we know that they're winners, and we put them away.
Yes.
So I'm going to be recreating the very first hybrid, the Gainesville Green.
Oh, my goodness.
Because, you know, I'm the creator of it. So I've got all the replicated seeds from the same year, and I'm going to start crossbreeding this season.
Wow.
Right. So after we recreate the new hybrid, we're going to recreate a new globe of rare earth land race rarities, and all of the champions that we choose and want to be part of our legacy group, you know, into that fold, into that new globe of rare, connoisseur, exquisite cannabis.
What is the rarest one you've found so far?
Mostly the Africans and Malawians, some of the reds, the Panama 67s, and the very rare Colombian variants that I have.
Oh, man.
The original Maui Wowie. Some Kandahar Valley cannabis that we have. We also have some Australian rarities.
What?
And some very rare Thai and Afghan purples and rarities that we collected from different provinces of those countries. And we've just never released them.
Wow. Okay. My mouth is watering right now. This is great.
Yeah, some of the rarest, finest cannabis in the world is going to be coming out of our sheds.
Well, we're looking forward to that, Rick. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to sharing that with everybody. And I want to give my love out to everybody in New Jersey. Just everybody from, Edward Pachon, you, Lefty Grimes, just everybody that's supported me and supported each other from New Jersey, the Garden State. I used to live in Red Bank, right on the Madison River. And I just miss the shore. I miss my New Jersey friends and family. Cindy Ruggiero, who's always been there fighting, no matter what she does, fighting for cannabis.
Cindy's great.
And Cindy's great. And she's been to my festivals, and she's been to my events, and she's always supported me. So there's a lot of people, again, like Edward Porcione is a friend, and I love my brother. He's just an amazing human being. And yourself. There's so many others. I can't even go down the list. There's too many.
There's a lot of heroes out
Joanne.
there. Joanne's amazing. Jim,
Joanne's incredible.
Ken Wolski, they'll be on later.
Right, Wolski, right.
Well, Rick, thank you so much for being on here. We're going to look forward to the Rick Nias show coming soon. When is that going to be airing?
It's going to be premiering this Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9:30.
Awesome. Yes. All right.
Yeah, we'll be advertising that a little bit more in the next couple of days.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rick. Happy 420, man.
Man, God bless you. Thank you for all you do, Edward. I'll be in touch to schedule up something with you guys, too.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Much love from the great-grandfather of hybrid cannabis, and happy 420
yes.
to everybody.
Yes. Thank you. Awesome. Oh, my goodness. That is, wow. That's so cool. Get this down. Okay. All right. Sorry. I don't have a producer, so you got to deal with the dead air for a minute while I make another phone call. I have to look up a phone number and then call a number. So give me a second. Hopefully my phones will work again. Here we go. Bing, bang, boom. Activist extraordinaire. You want activism? We got activism. Bing, bang, boom. We're going to hit you lefts and rights and uppercuts. Haymaker. Knock him out.
Hello.
Hello, Jim Miller. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, man. Happy 420.
You're on air? Happy 420 to you. You didn't give me the you're on the air thing real fast.
I didn't?
You're on air.
Oh, yeah. I did it so fast you didn't hear it.
Let me turn my broadcast off.
You
Okay.
are on the air, Jim Miller, my favorite host of all time.
I will be very careful not to violate any of the on-air rules.
What are they?
So, I don't know.
We don't have any rules.
You thought I was serious? I'm sorry. I thought we knew each other.
Oh, there's your picture. I got a picture of you with a hat on. You look really sexy in this picture. Just saying.
Really? And that's sick. Yeah.
Get my two favorite people here. I got Bong Holio and Jim Miller. This is great.
I was kind of hoping you'd put that picture up in one podcast where somebody passed a joint the wrong way, and they both joined on my right and my left at the same time, so I'd put them both in my mouth, And that picture needs explaining every time somebody sees it,
I'm trying to put up nice pictures. You know how I am, but I'm trying to be nice today. I have all kinds of pictures of everybody. I put everybody's best out there today. It's a holiday. It's our stoner holiday. We want to be at our best today.
Yeah, puff, 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 puff.
Puff, puff, puff. No passing, just puff, puff, puff. Are you puffing? You are.
Again, I thought we knew each other. Who are you?
Just watch me. Keep up. Try to keep up here.
Yeah. No, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the bong. I'm gonna hit Bong Holio. You host the show now. I'm gonna hit the bong. All right, ready to go.
Hey, I'd like that picture of Bong Holio, but isn't there anything you could do to put some sleeves out the side there, really dress it up,
All right.
I'm telling you, it looks real for a split second because you got the picture, the chin hanging over the bottom of the hole, like it would be. Good job. Of course, it doesn't take much, to fool stoners sometimes,
Hold on, I'll get a shirt. If you host a show, I'll go get a shirt and do it right now. Hold on.
I don't want to hold on.
Host the show. Take over. Ready, go.
No, I don't want to take over either. I'm overly medicated, you know. I was a little angrier earlier, and, you know, you go and be angry on 420, so I puff, and, you know, then I found myself losing my momentum, and sometimes it's good to be angry because I do some of my best work when I'm angry. When I'm angry, it prompts me to get out more than when I'm not. So maybe I shouldn't have puffed till after this. So I'm not watching my computer, Lefty, but assuming I'm still on, I'd like to say that everybody says, "Homegrown! We need homegrown! Come on, we need homegrown!" Yeah, oh man, all the time on Facebook, "Homegrown now!" Double, triple exclamation points. And then I'm getting kind of tired of reminding people that there is an effort, I'd say underway, but it's not getting a lot of enthusiasm from patients who say we need homegrown. And it needs more than just being declared on Facebook. That's not advocacy. That's not activism. That's identifying the problem over and over and over. We know the problem, and we're not going to vote them all out. It's not going to happen. And our real power is really being able to put legislators in a position they don't want to be in, using the theory that whatever legislators who are not receptive, whatever they don't want to happen, we do want to happen. And whatever they do want to happen, we don't want to happen. What they don't want is transparency. And we all know that legislators often, those who are not going to be helpful, do not want to respond when they get emails asking them to support home grow, for instance. So they don't have to answer non-constituents. We should all know that. Some do when they agree with you, but rarely if they disagree are you getting an answer. So it has to be through constituents. We have 40 districts, and pretty much most people are, from what they're saying, are not getting responses from the legislators. But there's no transparency. You can't prove it. You know, they can say, well, I think we responded.
You can. You can prove it.
There's no way to really keep track of anything, and I wanted to change that through constituent email trails on a public website.
Yes.
But not just constituents who are emailing saying we want home grow, constituents who are emailing with a unified voice, a unified message, and the only way that could happen is if there is one message, a template, that asks one question, so there is really nowhere to hide behind the easiest question. And patients get to fill out a paragraph of their own to make it personal, why you need homegrown, what it's like when you don't have it, how it affects your whole family. You know, you can even attach a selfie video, really put an exclamation point on it. But it doesn't really take more than 5 or 10 minutes to do that. And I don't know, it just seems like sometimes people spend 10 minutes telling me why something won't work when it would take 5 minutes to just try it and then say, look, it didn't work. You know, it would be less effort just to take part and, you know, kind of get it out of the way. So anyway, what would happen is if a legislator didn't answer, there'd be visual representation of that on letpatientsgrownj.com. If they answered with a bullshit answer, on a public website, anybody could see this is how that legislator handles this question. and then they get a return letter, again, written, well, in this case, by me, and add a paragraph of their own and send it back. And what happens is you do get to read everything not in real time, just one after the other. You see how very bad it can sound for a legislator. And the theory was that if more districts had email trails with their legislators happening than didn't, that the legislators might start being a little more forthright in their discussions with patients when they're all going to be on the same website. And eventually, you get to prove that you're being ignored. You get to prove that you're second-class patients through the email trail. If anybody can read them, you can go to any district and say, for the most part, they're not getting dealt with fairly. And it takes longer for you to explain how it works than it does to actually take part. So I would be I would be hoping that if we're going to stand back and shout, we need home grow, we need to plan and vote them all out or smoke them out with a whole crowd. Come on, man, that's not the plan. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm looking for people to follow, So who do I follow? Because ain't nobody really taking part in what I think might work, so.
I see the same problem, Jim. We have the same people helping, and it's just the same people. We're preaching to our choir over and over.
Well, and the non-choir members keep saying, "Oh, go now! Oh, go now!" Like that's helping. It's not really tangible help.
Well, how can people? How do people get to? You have a petition, right? You have a one-click activism.
Oh no, the petition was to get people to take part by simply signing a petition, and then give them the chance afterwards to take part in a more targeted campaign of identifying pro, con, and fence sitters, and then having a way to go about dealing with them.
Right.
And even when you do have a meeting, or you're not, no legislator I've ever had a meeting with has allowed a tape recording of the meeting. That doesn't stop me. I'm just saying they don't allow it. And that kind of shows that they like their culpable deniability. They get to say, "I did not know that," only one time. People are dying because of lack of home grow that they were promised 10 years ago. A legislator gets to say, "I did not know that," one time. So the point is to get them to know that where you can prove it, and that takes away their culpable deniability. Then doing nothing, gets to come back and bite them in the ass.
How can we get?
It is my goal that we will have a medical cannabis home grow bill introduced, just so we can all argue about how it's not good enough. Well, that would be fun, huh? I got to tell you,
it's thankless, Jim.
I hope that
thankless.
The fact that I am a tire advocate, I'm not tireless. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing the same things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the same results.
Yep. Which
is, that AA definition of insanity. But
sometimes
I guess the people that keep saying, home grow, I feel like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football again. Like, okay, one more try. So, this is. I'm just tired. I want to follow somebody. Oh, and by the way, the mere thought of Maui Wowie being resurrected. Holy crap, man. I got to tell you, that rang a bell I haven't had rung in a long time, man. It just seriously, it brought me back to like a good time 30 years ago. I can't remember now. Wow.
Yeah, the old
so
school.
Anyway, really enjoying the show today. Yeah, I don't mean to be such a buzzkill by not being, but it's a serious issue, you know.
How do we get to your one-click activism? Where is that at? How do we find that? How do we get people to go there? Where is it?
To go to what? I didn't hear the website.
Yeah, you have a website, right?
Yeah, letpatientsgrowNJ.com. Spell it out without spaces. And that's not P-A-T-I-E-N-C, people. Come on. You know. P-A-T-I-E-N-T-S. letpatientsgrowNJ.com. It's supposed to be easy to remember. It cost me $156 to make sure it was easy to remember, you know. So,
Jim, it's never become so clear that we need home grow. I mean, we got patients lining around a building waiting for 5 hours at dispensaries with no restroom. That's not compassion. That's just, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Oh, and nobody would know otherwise. I know there's a lot of that isn't right with dispensaries and all, but the Coalition for Medical Marijuana had permission today to have a table outside the Curaleaf dispensary. You know, had permission to do that. No, and with them full well knowing that home grow was the issue. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Bastards!
So, Jim, how far have you gotten with Herb Conaway? Have you gotten any headroom with you? Anything?
Oh, no. You know, I'm not really putting a whole lot of effort in that now. He's obviously not going to answer through Cassie D, the one who has had the email trail going with him for half a year now. But it's all we're really asking him to do is stay the hell out of the way this time. You know,
abstain.
Yeah, bring it up bring a standalone home cultivation bill for patients. Bring it up for the voting committee when it gets to his health committee, because that's where he screwed it up before by taking it out. But Herb Conaway didn't do this by himself. It likely wasn't his decision, but he is the one that got to announce it, so he is the whipping boy. The idea that he will not say what happened and discuss it at all is very curious. Again, you know, it's whatever somebody that doesn't want, who hasn't been helpful. I do want it. And if he doesn't want to say what happened, I say push till you find out. And be honest with you, most people do not understand my obsession with finding out and say, come on, Jim, you got to know. Yeah, but I don't have to guess to find out. It's up to him to own this, you know, and basically say, hey, it wasn't me. You know, it wasn't just John Corzine. There was problems with it, and he wanted to get a bill passed, and the only way it was going to get passed for sure was without any home grow. Yeah. But then the same thing with Miss Scutari. You know, why doesn't our grand savior here, why doesn't he be a savior and explain what happened? Because how are you going to fix something that you don't know why it broke? You know? That's how I fix a car. Throw the hood up and stare and wonder at stuff I know nothing about. So, I just say, whenever if I were going to ask people to do one thing, when you hear the Let Patients Grow NJ effort trying to get some traction. It is worth investigating and take a look at the template of the letter that you would be emailing to 3 legislators, 2 assembly people, and 1 senator. And usually you can get them all with one email to all 3, and it goes to them separately. I got to apologize, too. I've had, like, an incredible echo in my phone as I talk to you, and it's really hard to ignore. So
Is that better?
I guess I should. No, I still hear it.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. I don't know why. Yeah, you on speakerphone?
Yeah, no, I'm not on speakerphone.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's a speakerphone, but the speakerphone isn't on. So, sorry about that. You're doing a good job till this. Yeah.
Well, Jim Miller, thank
I never
you.
let you down on purpose, man. It's always an accident.
Thanks, man. You still jamming out on Fridays, huh?
No, can't do that. We're social distancing that, too.
Really? None of that, huh?
The stuff that was put up on Facebook was the last time that we played together. And actually, that was not question. It was about 5 weeks ago, so 6 weeks ago. So,
oh, man.
You know, we were all in. We went to the studio to use their equipment.
Yeah.
Not to record, just because, well, they have drums there, and our drummer gets to play with us.
Yeah, it looked like a nice studio.
Yeah, well, you know, that's where you and Bongholio, we were hoping we'd get you there.
Nice.
You know, and then you could do some proper video work, too.
We have to make a record. We really have to make a record, man.
Oh, it's a Looney Tunes studio on Route 37 in Toms River, and it's like $20 or $25 an hour to use their equipment, and damn, loud.
Well, Jim Miller, thank you. Thank you, CMMNJ, for all your support. You guys are the best. You're the reason.
Well, back at you, man. I mean, you're the one that gets this all out there, and I cannot believe how many in Trenton podcasts you have done. And actually, now, after all the time, your reputation is preceding you, and it's not all bad now. It's awesome.
Yeah, some of it's good now.
Well, it is, you know.
Oh,
You got to know, you still are my work in progress. You know, I knew you were really getting somewhere the first time I saw you show up in a tie at a meeting. You know, you snuck up on him. You know, it was great.
It worked. It worked for the. Those were great council meetings, man. Those are. I'll never forget those the rest of my days, man. That was good stuff.
Again, you get out and get there because we don't. You know, and you do these podcasts because, well, if you weren't, it wouldn't be getting done quite like this. So I hope people help you when you need help, and if they're saying we need homegrown help, I don't know, then don't listen to me. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Not everybody. You gotta get everyone on board. And Homegrown, we need this bill passed. We need this. No, it's not a bill. It's a constitutional amendment in November.
Well, actually, the goal has been shortened past not getting it passed, getting it introduced. That's it. Then everybody jumps on the bandwagon and helps get it passed. You know, but it's the getting it a standalone bill introduced in the Senate Health Committee. That's the goal.
That would be awesome. Can that happen?
Well, that's it. Then
who do we get? Who's on that committee that would do that? Is that Vitale?
No, that's Scutari's. I mean, that's Vitale. Yeah, it's Vitale's committee. Scutari was the one we wanted to write it because he wrote the first one, because he would have less work to do. He should already know that it is the right thing to do. The only thing they can't seem to do is get together and do it. You know, and what gets said is, well, there's no will from the other senators to get it on. You know, That's like us having some sort of secret vote. The goal is to identify all the individual legislators, how they feel about this. Again, letpatientsgrowNJ.com. If we don't know how they feel, then who do we know who to go after? Pretty well advocacy. I'd say 101, but it's before that even. You don't know who you're fighting. And it's not the man, it's individuals.
Let Patients Grow New Jersey, was that it? Give me that again.
Patients Grow. LetPatientsGrowNJ.com.
There we go.
And then the Facebook group is Let Patients Grow NJ. So.
You and Joanne are amazing. Thank you so much, Jim.
Yeah, well, she's amazing. I'm still an enigma that I can't figure my own self out. I don't know.
I know. I'm just kind of orbiting myself. I know.
Hey, but thanks for including me today. And I love what you do. You know that.
Thank you. I love you back, man. What strain are you smoking on?
Happy 420 to everybody. And, do the right thing afterwards.
See ya! All right, Jim Miller. Awesome. Gotta love Jim Miller. We have a... oh, wow, no wonder this is not working. We have a Munchie Minute. We have a Munchie Minute real quick. Quick break. This is great. This is something they're doing in Oregon on Sativa Cross West. They're doing a Munchie Minute. We're going to do one here. This is what they're doing out there. I'll show you. That's pretty funny. This is Jose. Hold on. I need a producer. All right. This is Jose. This is his Munchie Minute.
All right, so we out here, we're about to have ourselves a delicious meal. And, well, I like to introduce you with something that I just started experimenting with. First, come over here, let me show you this rice. This right here, no particular brand in specifically, but we got some brown rice. We put a little bit of the shrimp broth. Because I made some ceviche the other day. Now, this other thing over here, we got some refried frijoles. But we did put a little bit of a special ingredient in each one of those items. And it was some of that cannabis infused. Let me say that again. Infused. I like that word. Butter. So we put a little bit of that on the rice. We put a little bit in the beans, and we also put some of this in the main dish, which is going to be some camarones, green bell pepper, onion, tomato, and like I said, a special ingredient, cannabis infused butter. Pretty soon I'm going to go ahead and delight myself in the delicious meal along with my partners over here. Until next time, enjoy.
Yeah. Nice. Whoops. All right, that's Jose. Sorry about that. I had Bungolio's head just floating in the soup there. It's falling the chicharrones. Sorry, Bungolio. Mike, let me apologize. I got to apologize now. I feel terrible.
Hello.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Lefty, what's up?
How are you, man? Happy 420.
Happy 420, man. How are you?
Good, man. I have to apologize to you. I just had your head in the chicharrones. Your head was...
Oh, yeah. I look like I was approving of all the dishes.
Your head was floating and everything.
It looks like I was very happy with each dish there.
Oops. I know it's more funny that I don't have a producer, but it would be easier for me if I had a producer because you can all point and left. Dad, look at Lefty, he's stoned. Look, Bungholio's head.
Why is Bongholio floating over the countertop? What's going on?
What are you doing for 420, man?
Doing a bunch of different things. Me and Aubrey made a shitload of edibles yesterday. Started eating some of them, so I slept super good. Woke up a little later than I thought I would. But we're going to take the celebration outside and do palms and stuff. We bought one of those giant king palms, like the 5-gram ones.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to pack that thing. And we got a whole bunch of weed and a whole bunch of edibles, and we're going to get super baked.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Take some pictures. I want to see the pictures of the big fat joint, the king palm.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. I'm going to check the website right now to see if anyone sent in pictures of their stuff. I sent in, I think Lulu sent a picture of his butthole in. He did, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those 5-gram king palms are like, it's almost like if you were to hollow out like a Dutch. It's like that size. So it's pretty big.
Let's see. No, just Lulu's butthole. The last picture is Lulu's butthole. It's beautiful.
It is a beautiful butthole, though.
I'm going to put a like next to it. I'm going to put a love on it. Here, I'll put some... Here, let me show you the... Here, let me go to the camera. Hold on. Let me just take you off camera and show you this real quick. This is great. This is Lulu's butthole. Come on. I got to take you guys down on here. Hold on. Oh, my God. I need a producer. All right, look at this. This is Lulu's butthole. That's Lulu's butthole, if you can see that. I'm going to put a big love next to that butthole right there. It's love. Because Lulu posted. That's beautiful. That is just, it's a flower. Good job. All right. How do I get this back up here? Where's Mikey?
Yeah, it's been forever since we've hung out.
Dude, I know.
This quarantine shit's got us in a mess.
All right, there we go. Got you back. What are you doing for the quarantine?
Well, I normally go back to work in March. So there was like work for like a week, and then everything got shut down and stuff. So it was like a little teaser. I feel like I'm gaining some weight.
Well, yeah, aren't you like munching out on some really bad food right now?
Yeah. I guess I'll explain to everybody what I was explaining to you the other night. But I bought 2 boxes of like 20 fruit roll-ups. Came in each box. I wound up buying the 1 box. I'm doing nothing but sitting home, and I'm just getting stoned, and I'm just eating.
Oh,
So I bought a 20-pack of fruit roll-ups, and I ate like half the box. I went back to the store, and I bought another 20-pack. So later on that night, I polished the first box off, and I'm like, all right, let me go get some more fruit roll-ups. And I go to grab the second box, and I realized that it was the second box that I polished off. So I had like a fruit roll-up like blackout moment where I ate 40 fruit roll-ups in a matter of like just basically the day. And I bought a bag of those Reese's eggs. And I literally ate them all in one sitting. It was on the same day too.
Oh.
But I've been doing stupid shit like that.
And you
I can't act out any other way.
And you can't work out, so it's all just...
No, I can't work out, and I was actually doing that over the winter break, keeping myself like active or whatever. So really, the only exercise I'm getting nowadays is walking around the block smoking a joint.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I did it last night or whatever, and I was like, 3 minutes later, I was done with the joint. I was like, all right, enough activity.
That's enough. Going home.
Going home, yeah. But
how's
I mean, other than that, I'm enjoying it because I'm going to be on unemployment for a while. So
I got the unemployment and stuff like that or whatever. So I'm being paid to stay home, and I'm going to do so.
Right. Yeah, a lot of restaurant workers are hurting because they just lost their jobs, and now they're just like...
Yeah, I hope all of the people, I mean, everybody's in a jam. No one's really kind of making out from this. Well, some people are making out, actually. But
no, you're doing good.
Rough.
You're getting paid. You're getting money, so that's
yeah.
good.
If I have to be honest, for me, I'm not really in a too bad of a spot. I got the unemployment.
Yeah.
I got the funds that are coming with that. So I'm going to be a good little boy and stay home quarantined.
How's Aubrey doing with all this? And also, did she get that discount that they're talking about? Is that coming into effect anytime soon, or what's happening with that?
With the discount for the insulin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like effective immediately. It's pretty, there's a lot of, I mean, it's great that they did that, but I mean, shit, they could have just done that at any point, Right now, everybody's struggling to just make ends meet, pay their normal bills. Everybody's going crazy. More than half this country is quarantined with people they hate and don't love at all. That's got to be rough, being stuck in a house with somebody that you hate. So I'm sure that's going on all over the place. But it was cool that they did that. But, I mean, shit, nobody can afford nothing right now.
Yeah, people are hurting. But that's good that you get that discount then. It's happening then.
Yeah. And they're offering it to anybody,
Wow. Okay. And it's a good insulin because she needs a special insulin because she's allergic to other insulin. And
yeah, she uses two different kinds.
Right.
In fact, the president of Eli Lilly just died like 2 nights ago.
Wow.
His name is Dick Wood.
No, it's not. Stop it.
Well,
Stop it.
It's Richard Wood. And I started reading the first paragraph of the article, and it was like saying how he refers to Dick, in parentheses, like Dick Wood.
Stop being a shock jock. That's not his name.
I will send you the article.
You're such a liar. Who would name their kid that?
Different times. I don't know. He was 92. Richard Dick, it's popular.
Well, my name is Richard.
Now.
I'm a dick too, but I don't never say Dick. I say Rick.
Dick Wood. That's so great.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah, it is.
God said, I'll make you a billionaire, but you have to live with this name because I have a sense of humor. And he's like, all right.
Right.
All right, sure, I'll do this. 80 years, I could do that. Stand on my head. Billionaire, no problem.
Life-saving medication. You got to dangle it over their heads, and if you do so, you have to live with the name Dick Wood.
Ow.
And you got 92 years out of life. That's pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
He lived a fulfilling life.
Oh, that is a different time back then.
Yeah, and again, Dick was like a popular name.
Yeah, it wasn't different.
It wasn't the kind of get made fun of for having that nickname kind of thing nowadays.
It still isn't. I just think it's funny. I'm an idiot. I'm just stupid. I
think it's great. I just read the article and we started smiling in the first paragraph. I'm like reading an article about a man dying, and I'm like laughing, like the irony of it all.
No.
But I'm sure he did well.
Oh man, there was a doctor that was doing drug tests. He was faking drug tests or something. His name was Camelcant. So,
that's freaking horrible.
I couldn't read that article that day.
Try to read that in front of a room full of people.
I was just dying. I'm like, really? This is his name? Okay.
That's great.
Good stuff. Yeah, so you got to come over and play with some Legos with me, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm sick of this quarantine time or whatever. I haven't been able to do anything with anyone. I mean, everyone's in the same boat. I'm no different, but I'm trying to hang.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm good. I haven't gone out. And next week is this Thursday, Vermin Supreme. So you should.
Really?
Yeah, you should come over for Vermin Supreme.
Yeah, I could be a part of your quarantine, right? I mean, I've been doing the masks. I've been even doing the gloves.
You got to take them off though a certain way, and then you can't like touch
Yeah,
everything.
oh no, some people, you might as well not even wear the gloves if you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Touching your eye with your glove.
Yeah, I watched a kid in ShopRite yesterday pull his mask down. He's at the cashier. He pulled his mask down. He's like looking at the Z-Take total or something, and he starts like picking his nose with his rubber gloves on his hand. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is all wrong. No. Like, you're definitely doing it wrong, man.
Oh, did you
get your finger up your nose?
You didn't get a picture?
So crazy. No, I was horrified though. I was oh no.
Horrified.
Well, these are different times, and there's a lot of factors that are like highlighted that are just different. Like the way that we're just absolutely have no trust over people. You see someone, you're like, you're a fucking enemy, get away from me. Now, like, a common man, your fellow man is like a threat.
Everyone's an enemy now.
You know? Yeah, and that kind of division is like super dangerous because all of a sudden, like, no one's on the same team. You know, I enjoy the moments in the store when someone like clearly does a dodge. You know, like they'll see you and they'll go way out of their way to make sure they, I'll do the same thing.
Did you see the guy with the water things on his head? They were like the spaghetti, the swimmer things, and they had like a few of them around his head.
It like covered his radius. Yeah.
Little swimmy things. Those are great.
There's a lot of funny things people
the noodles.
keep doing right now.
The noodles, little water noodles.
It's a good prank time.
I wore my anonymous mask in the store, and they looked at me like I was crazy. A guy that looked like a bug. He looked like a bug, and he's looking at me shaking his head like, what? You look like a fucking idiot.
Like, you're a fool. You're a bug.
It's fun. It's fun for me. But it's not fun for everybody because there are people suffering, and it is true that as far as there's a balance between your freedoms and your rights, which I fight for that, but like we know people that are sick that have to be seriously quarantined.
It's to be honest, like I said, I mean, this is some troubling times, and there's a lot, like every concern is like a valid concern. I don't want to get too into it or whatever, but there's a lot of things that are taking place right now that it'll be impossible to try to undo, things that are being put in place and stuff. And the thing is, I can't properly gauge things totally because I don't know. I don't have any trust in the government. I don't trust anything that comes out of their mouth or whatever. But obviously, this is a serious issue. It's being handled in a, sensationalized way.
Very political. And
I don't blame people for being confused. I don't blame people for questioning stuff. It is what it is. It's just it's a rough situation. And it seems like it's going to be a little worse before it gets better, don't you think?
I think it's at the plateau now, and I think one person is infecting 0.9 people, so it's going down, but just barely. Because usually one person infects one. Now it's infecting less than one, so that number has to keep going down.
Right. I watched this thing on YouTube. It was like this doctor from Stanford University. He took like over 3,000 people from a certain area in California and tested them, and within his findings, he found out that they had like much more antibodies in their blood, which led him to two conclusions. One, which was a lot more people have been exposed to it, so it's more contagious than maybe they were originally thinking. But then they also found out that since a lot of people had recovered it already, that death rate may actually be higher than what's being reported. I don't know. I try to follow the proper sources, because they got an article to contest every angle right now. You want to find an article to support your own narrative? You can find it, and there's 10 behind it.
What you meant was less deaths, because if there is more people with the disease, then statistically there would be less deaths.
That was right. And if there was more people with the disease, then it was also more people had already contracted it.
Right.
So yes, more people had contracted it, but at the same time, it was less fatal than the numbers are being reported. This is just a study that they did. They did this 2 weeks ago. They just got the results back like a day or two ago.
Well, I've done a study here at the podcast over the past few years, and most of the cannabis patients I know don't really get colds and flus because their endocannabinoid system is so full, and they're usually...
I never get sick.
Yeah, most of us, unless you're really like, immunocompromised.
Right.
But I don't get sick or colds. I just don't, because I'm always,
I'm at worst, I'll do maybe like a slight cold once a winter.
Once a year, maybe, yeah, something.
But that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Compared to some people who get sick all the time and get, and God bless you if you're sick, man. Man.
Yeah, no, I know.
I got enough stuff to deal with my pain. I'm in pain today.
My half brother, my dad's kid of a different mom. He works. He's a doctor, and he works at Winthrop University, which is like on Long Island there. And he's got the virus. So I'm like thinking like, oh shit, is he home? Is he in the hospital? Not only is he not home or not in the hospital, but they still got him working, and he's doing overtime, and he's working on the floor where everybody else has the virus, like all the patients and shit, So what they've been doing is, his job is he goes in and flips the patients every 12 hours. Because what they're doing is, a lot of the hospitals across the country, they're having patients lay on their back, and what they're doing at Winthrop University is they're having them lay on their sides, because the theory is if you're laying on your back, you have more restriction of your breathing, and if you lay on your side, you have a better inhale take and more of an exhale. You can easier breathing, basically. So what they've been doing is they've been flipping patients every 12 hours, and they've been seeing good results based off of that. And they've been, even in some situations, putting the patients on their stomach and kind of propping them in a way, which is just different than what they're doing in a lot of hospitals across the country. And they've been talking to the news and stuff, So, I don't know, this is pretty interesting.
Crazy times, man.
Sure is.
So, you guys made some crazy edibles today, huh? What did you guys make?
We got brownies.
Uh-huh.
We got cupcakes. We got infused honey. We have butter ready to go for more shit. We said fuck it, just get a bunch of shit, make a bunch of shit, and you already know, people like us, every day is 420, so it's all gonna get put to good use.
Yeah, awesome.
Quarantine QP.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out an answer for Lori and her son because he needs a fast-acting cannabis. So Rick said an aerosol, not to change any of her recipes, but to use an aerosol up the nose, and I think that would work for him.
Oh, like a nasal shot thing?
Yeah. I never tried
nasal
that.
Blast.
I
would love that.
The only thing I've tried is keef.
I was going to say, we did the snort and the keef.
Snorted keef. That was kind of crazy.
Fantastic. No, it was not crazy. It was completely thought out, properly executed. I will tell you to the day I die, I think that was one of the best ideas you've ever had.
I may have to snort some keef on the podcast today.
It's funny, people are like, yeah, you should.
It is 4:20.
You really should.
All right, let me go get it. Hold on.
Please do that.
Hold on. Let me go get it. Let me get it. Oh, boy, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah. The reason why the snort and the decarb keef is such a good idea is because, all right, well, the concept of, taking a dab hit. you're firing the torch up or whatever. Someone who's not your normal cannabis consumer, it's like, to them, it's like you're smoking like the crack of weed kind of thing. So I like the optics of snorting the decarb keef. I think it's like one level above the optics of like, blazing up a rig with a torch.
Okay. What do I do for the podcast? It is 420, though. I should clean this dabber off.
I love how you still got some ready. Now, when I snorted that decarb keef, it immediately produced like tingling or whatever sensation. Kind of made my eyes start to water. Felt a little bit of like flushness in the cheeks. Almost somewhat of like a rush kind of a sensation, and then the drip, like pretty nasty, but
oh, jeez. Oh.
Just blow a nice little rail.
Oh, it was a bump. Little bump.
It was a bump. That's awesome. It's an inch long rail teeth.
Woo!
Right to the brain. But doesn't it leave your eyes a little watery, a little flushing in the cheeks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You feel like you want to jiggle your shoulders around a bit?
You got to do both sides, I think. I got to do both sides.
You don't really get that feeling after like a bong hit where you want to jiggle the shoulders, but you get that with the decarb keef.
Yeah. I'm going to sneeze in a second. But before I sneeze... Oh.
There, yeah, nice.
Oh!
Get it all up in there.
I used to live in Helmeta, and that was where they used to make the stuff of tobacco. And,
yeah.
Wow, I remember growing up. Not growing up, I was in my 20s. Being around that factory, the Helm factory. It's pretty wild.
And is that pretty much what gave you the idea to do the snort and the decarb keef?
Yes.
Amazing. Brilliant.
And plus, I watch a lot of old movies. Old movies, they used to do that a lot.
I could, just from hearing you, like, do your snorting and stuff, I'm almost like a little jealous. It sounds very pleasurable. I, like, remember the rush feeling. Fuck, I'm getting all itchy now. I'm sure some of your viewers have never heard of the decarb keef thing and just watched you snort a little bump of keef and was like, what the fuck? That's
the first time I've ever done a keef on the podcast, like snorting in my nose.
You're the best. I love it.
It's a holiday. I lit the bong. I lit you up. Look. Bong hole.
I know. I seen that earlier.
Beautiful.
I was like, yes, he spoke and dad hit out of me. This is great.
2. I think I did 2 so far.
That's brilliant. Another good idea.
I hope you come over Thursday, man. It's going to be great. We got... it'll be fun.
How is your Lego ramp going? I seen a picture the other day on the internet. It looked like it was coming along pretty good.
I got to take it apart, man. I fucked up.
Why do you got to take it apart? Just because you were trying to do a little dry run?
Yeah, but I did it wrong. I have to do 2 ramps. It's too big, too heavy. It has to be 2 ramps because it's just way too cumbersome. And I have to do a 7.5 inch step, and that's a big ramp. That's
7.5 inches high?
Yes. That's
oh, wow, that is an incline.
It comes out really far, and it's very heavy and not workable. So I need to make 2 ramps, just like Grandma Lego did, just like Jamie told me. And I needed to learn for myself.
Didn't that Grandma Lego? Didn't she do it both ways, where she had 2 of them and then also 1 big one?
Smaller steps, you can do a ramp like this, like the one on my table. Smaller steps.
Right.
Bigger steps, you need 2, double.
Yeah, that makes sense because it would be a lot less weight if it's a short height. But yeah, man, cool. Yeah, we gotta get together.
Yeah, let me see if I can show you the ramp real quick. This is what I'm working with here. Hold on. This is what I'm working. I took it apart, kind of, but this is kind of.
You got enough Legos to complete that ramp?
If I break it into 2, maybe. I'm short. I'm very short. Like I got 3/4 of Legos I need. I need another quarter, I think.
Right. How wide are you making them when there's the two of them? Like if you're just doing two instead of a full
Maybe
one?
just one. Just one of. Here, hold on. Let me put it back. One of these suckers. Here, let me put this back on. Hold on. You could see one of these. It's just a plate. It's a 10 by 10 plate. Put a couple of these together, and your wheels are enough. You just got to put your wheels on here. And it's fine.
Bickety bam.
Boom. Done.
Cool.
Solve this problem. I was doing it all wrong for the past 3 years. Just fighting with people, getting assaulted, getting beat up, getting yelled at.
Well, yeah, typically speaking, people don't like to listen when they get yelled at.
I don't yell until they yell at me.
Not saying, hey, I've used those same tactics my whole life, and I've gotten nowhere with people. No judgment over here.
I'm always nice until they are not. And then I'm like, oh, well, F you too. I'm like...
Right. Like, oh, well, fuck you times 5.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but...
You wanna fuck with me? Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be more nice about it. And anyway, I was trying to be more nice about it.
But at the same time or whatever, there's nothing wrong with like trying out a bunch of different things and then sticking with like what works, and you can't come to that place unless you use a nice plethora of tactics.
Yeah, we got 13 ramps the hard way. We're going to get 100 ramps this way, the easy, fun way.
I can remember going into police stations with you, doing the tour, educating them with all the law and everything like that. And we did it in a lot of different ways. There was ways where we were like kind of frustrated about it, and then there were other times where it was like a great experience, and we left shaking hands with the cops, which we were getting all different kinds of results using all different tactics. Yeah. So sometimes yelling feels good, but doesn't really yield. Oh, there's the sneeze. That was the snuff sneeze.
Oh, there it is.
Felt good, right?
I'm supposed to feel a rush now, or no?
No. I think you already got the rush. When
okay.
Mr. Sniff.
Wow. I think I think I have a rush now.
Get a little drips of sweat on the cheek.
That was fun.
Well, trust me, everybody's got all these 420 plans, all these ideas, these festive ideas, and I don't think anyone else is snorting Keith. So you got him beat on that.
We always got him beat by something stupid.
You're always thinking of something,
There's that, though.
Always one step ahead without even trying to be. Because, dude, if someone's watching and they're like, yo, that's the greatest idea. Yeah. And I don't care if people are not agreeing with me, and it's just all me thinking that. Someone's out there, just like me, saying that is a great idea.
And then there's someone out there saying that's the most horrible idea ever.
Oh, there's more people saying that probably. And not only are they saying that, but they're like, this is another black eye on the cannabis plant that has nothing but healing properties, and these optics of using hard drugs is wrong.
Yes.
It's like, how many wrongs is wrong? Come on. People, oil or wax or whatever, it's the crack of weed. Well, sniffing decarb Keith is like the coke of weed.
Next thing they'll be putting it in their butts. Well, actually, I did that too.
Don't ask.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Right. Freaking Keith Entima. God, there's always a new way.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, Mikey, thanks so much, brother.
Yeah, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm going to listen to the rest of the podcast before I head out.
Nice. Hopefully I'll see you this week.
Yeah, man. Have a good 420, and we'll try to get together on Thursday.
You too, man. Happy 420, bro.
You too, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Boom. All right. Where's I got to call a grower, a master grower. A lot of you wanted to grow questions and grow tips. So we're going to work on that for you today. There we go. Let's see if this works.
Hello?
Nick.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's Lefty, man. How are you? You're on the air.
Good. Hey, man. How is everybody? Happy 420.
Happy 420, bro. Yeah. This is
Hope everyone's medicating safe and everybody's staying their 6 feet away.
yes. This is Nick.
How are you?
Good, man. This is Nick D'Amelio from Terrascend, the lead grower from Terrascend. How's everything going over there?
Good, man. I'm actually off today, enjoying my holiday. I've been working some weekends. You know, we're keeping our social distancing and limiting our staff to who's there. So making sure the plants are fed. Things are going good. Our construction and everything is still moving along, even with, you know, COVID. We're thankfully considered essential. So hopefully we'll be getting our medicines out to the patients as soon as we can. We know everybody's waiting, including myself. But everything's good, man. Everything is really good. So hopefully, like I said, we get things out sooner than later, and I hope everything's over sooner than later so we don't have these lines and everybody waiting for medicine and stuff like that. You know, the shortages. I wouldn't even call it a shortage, just the limited supply of dispensaries at this point. So hopefully everything gets back to normal very soon.
Yeah, it's what 10,000 people per dispensary. Is that how it averages out to?
I think right now, yeah, if you break down to how many patients are in the program with the 60,000-ish or whatever it is, yeah, we're at like 10,000 dispensary at this point. And, you know, people live 2 hours away from one, so it kind of, numbers kind of change.
Man, that's rough. So how are you doing during this whole thing? Like you're doing the social distancing and all that. I had a question for another grower.
Sorry
before.
about that. My phone was bugging out for a second.
Another grower, I asked him a question about the virus. If maybe you know this answer. If somebody sneezes on the plants who has the coronavirus, do you have to destroy the plants, or do you have to just quarantine the plants, or is there any? This is all new ground for all of us here.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm not 100% educated on that question as well. I believe that, you know, viruses and bacteria can live on the plants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think we would have more of a concern if a patient or, I mean, an employee or a staff member, a cultivator, anybody at the dispensary having that condition should be, you know, nowhere near any product or patient medicine. And in reality, if that was happening, just for precautions, I would think that product would be destroyed at that point because it's contaminated by somebody who possibly could spread the coronavirus. I'm not 100% sure on the, you know, time frame of that it would live on a plant, but I assume it can live on a plant just like it can live on a surface.
Yeah, it can live a day or two on a surface, right?
Yeah, I would assume at least like the 3 days or something like that. You know, I'm actually gonna start looking into that more myself. I have been researching viruses in plants, and I know that they are, you know, susceptible to some things that we are. But it's not like we can necessarily give the virus to a plant, I believe. And you know, but now, like you said, a dried product that somebody coughs on, you know, is it in the bag? Is it around it? You know, that's a different story, in my opinion, than actual plant having to worry about contracting the virus.
Yeah, it's a different world, man.
It really is. It's a scary world, but it's a different. You know, we'll all get through it, I think. So
yeah,
it's definitely difficult.
A lot of questions, man, because we just don't know a lot of things about, you know, a lot of issues. Cannabis may even help this virus, help you deal with the virus.
I believe so. I believe that the antiviral properties that cannabis has and other cannabinoids have together, you know, with our CB1 and CB2 receptors, I believe that, you know, smoking might not necessarily be the best thing for some, you know, a virus or a disease or anything with a respiratory problem. But, you know, who's saying eating cannabis and eating cannabinoids aren't helping you throughout this process and, you know, helping keep you susceptible or, you know, a better immune system at this point. You know, I haven't had pills or prescription medication or anything like that, Advil, in probably like 6-7 years since I became a patient and medicated and stuff. So, like, you know, you never know. I don't, knock on wood, get sick often either, so.
Right. So is TerraSen's going to be opening up this. Well, everything's on hold now. Or are you guys on hold, or are you still going forward, or what's going on?
Everything's still moving forward. With dispensary, with everything, it just all depends on how fast things can get done with construction and contractors and permitting and all that stuff. But we are staying up to date on the website and stuff with our dates, and they have been changing because of everything going on. But we're looking to hopefully be open as soon as possible, honestly, with everything going on. But dates are definitely changed a little bit, but I don't think they're going to be that much different than we've set. So I think everything will be open, hopefully in a timely manner in the next month or two, depending on how, like I said, things go with this whole coronavirus and everything like that.
All right, Slav has a question. I don't think they can do this, Slav. They said they should wear a full body suit, face mask, and sunglasses in the grow room. Is that even possible to wear a whole?
I'm actually right now, like I am the only cultivator in that grow room pretty much all the time, and I do have a full Tyvek suit on, shoe booties, beard net, hair net, glasses, safety goggles over the glasses, and I even wear a face mask over it now because of the situation. But right now with our situation, it's not really a concern for us, but for people that are putting out product right now in flower and selling to ATCs and other dispensaries, in general, PPE should be taking precautions during cannabis and stuff, not just during these times. We should have full PPE, in my opinion, when you're cultivating for patients.
Oh, there you go, Slav. There's your answer. He's wearing full gear.
It's hot in there, too, with that gear on, but hey, that's okay.
I bet.
Worth it.
Yeah, well,
Plus, you don't want the issues of who knows what you have when you're coming in for yourself, with your clothes. I changed my outfit and stuff, but still, you never know. So to be fully protected in a coverall suit with, like I said, beard net and all that is definitely worth it, in my opinion, especially now.
Yeah. How long have you been growing for?
For TerraSen, just about over a year now, and then over in general about 2.5 years, 3 years in the legal, since New Jersey has been a legal market.
Right. Okay. Awesome.
I did some stuff up in Maine and Massachusetts in the time of before, but it was with a school and stuff like that I was being taught more, educated on more than myself. But yeah, more like 2.5 years in the legal market.
Right. Okay. I don't know if you heard Rick before, but he was talking about the old strains from like the Panama Reds and the Maui Wowies, the original strains, landrace strains.
Yes.
Oh,
the good ones, the ones everybody forgets about.
Yeah.
Don't worry, TerraSen will definitely have a huge variety of strains from the old schools to the new schools, and people do forget, and I know I'm a little young, but I don't forget where those new school strains came from. It came from the old school. So yeah, we'll have everything for everybody at that point. Your wedding cakes, not that I'm saying we have a wedding cake because everybody has wedding cake, but those wedding cakes to your old school hazes, to your piffs, to your whatever you want, your sours and your New York sours, and your we could go on for days about strains. But
what's your favorite strain?
I'm a huge fan of the gassy strain, so I like anything with GMO in it, but if I had to go like favorite, I really do like a Motor Breath 15. I don't know, I like everything, to be honest, but I like growing old school strains that are big and hardy and heavy and all that too, and I like growing like Girl Scout cookie strains, not necessarily Girl Scout cookie itself, but things that have those tight interlock nodes with buds that have nice spacing that cause you less problems later on anyway, and just those buds that everybody look for.
I'm going to do a hit of GMO rosin in your honor.
Oh, I love GMO rosin. I love GMO. I just love garlic strains. It smells like cheesy feet, and it's like the best cheesy feet smell you could get.
That's what it is. Cheesy feet. I was trying to what is this, mouth roofie? What is this flavor?
Cheesy feet.
Cheesy
That's
feet.
exactly what GMO is.
Yes.
Cheesy garlic feet.
Oh, cheesy garlic feet. Wow. What's the other one that's, was it Roadkill Skunk or something? Is that a real strain?
I'm a huge skunk fan. Definitely love skunk. Skunk always smells like cheesy garlic, skunk, dead animals, or whatever you want to call it.
God.
Skunks are good. Skunk number 1, skunk 47, skunk number 6. Like, those are all, again, a lot of strains that people forget about, but they're all crossed with that new stuff, so. Where you get all those stanks from, and I'm a huge Chem fan, but I'm talking like Chem 91, like Chem D, like not even like Chem Dog's good and all that too, but like the old school ones, and like that's where GMO gets its dankness from, that and Girl Scout cookie, again, the original Girl Scout cookie, the form, the before Cross and all that, before it was Burner and all that stuff. So.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's the flavor, all right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. People are asking questions here. Oh, happy 420, everybody. Cannabis and cheese.
Happy 420, everybody.
Cannabis. Oh, cat piss. People love the cat piss weed.
Cat piss. Yeah, somebody the other day showed me some cat piss, and it was like a throwback, but it didn't look like cat piss. It looked like some new school stuff, and I was like, I mean, it smells like cat piss, but yeah, that strain is definitely far in the wind that people forget about, and you know, I haven't seen that or heard of people talking about that genetic in a long time, whether clone seeds or anything. It was a good strain, though. It is a good strain.
Is there anything TerraSend can do proactively when they get started this year to put to help these lines out? Because there's lines around dispensaries, 4 or 5 hour waits at dispensaries. Is there
our dispensary team, marketing team, managing team, and all that right now are working with a bunch of, you know, Department of Health, other ATCs. Everyone is getting together to get, you know, that figured out so things aren't going to be held up when things do open. So, yeah, I think not just TerraSend, I think the entire program is going to see a big, you know, opening up in the next few months when all these other ATCs do get their things started, and, you know, we can separate patients to go different places. And, you know, the Department of Health has curbside pickup, and they're talking about other things. You know, you never know what we'll get, or, you know, they'll discuss that'll make things easier with consultations. You know, right now you can go to a dispensary and do the consultation online from like Garden State Dispensary and things like that, which is great. So hopefully they continue that to help education for the, you know, process be quicker, and it'll help lines be shorter and curbside pickups or express pickups. And yeah, hopefully that it will all be a lot easier at that point.
Maybe TerraSend can be the first to have home delivery, because it is allowed in Jake's Law. So maybe TerraSend can figure out how to get this home delivery system working.
I think that's definitely a huge priority on their list that they're working on. And even right now, I know the Department of Health and the ATCs have all been discussing it and trying to figure out how to do it and, you know, make it safe and things like that. I think that's what it comes down to, on, you know, how to monitor it, how to make sure patients are safe, delivery drivers are safe, and that's pretty much their main concern is, of course, safety. So I think that it will be a thing that, you know, happens hopefully, like, again, sooner than later, and I think it'll be a huge help. And hopefully, yeah, we can be one of the first, if not the first, doing it.
Nick, thank you so much. I got to get a T-shirt to
problem.
you. Yeah, I got a T-shirt for you, and I want to see that grow room behind you. It looks beautiful.
Yes, come by one day soon, and I will give you a tour. Once we get over this COVID-19, we will get things going.
Yeah, I'll wear a suit. I'll do a whole.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beard, net, and all. PPE, full PPE, and no entry.
Thanks, brother. Thank you so much,
no
man.
problem. Happy 420.
Happy
everybody.
420.
Thanks for having me. See you later.
See ya. All right, that was Nick from TerraSend. Awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm on the patient advisory board for TerraSend, so you know, I'm fighting for you guys out there. I'm out there fighting for you. I'm trying to get what you need, and you need home delivery, and we're trying to get that. Got to fight for it. Got to just keep fighting. Don't give up the fight. Okay. Let's do this one. Oops. Okay. Hello? Oh, Pat Duff. Hold on, Pat. I'm trying to get this phone working. Can you hear me now? All right, we got to do it the hard way. Hold on. All right. There we go. Mr. Duff, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man.
Happy 420, brother.
Happy 420.
What are you smoking on in Pennsylvania today?
Well, I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're in Jersey today. Okay.
Yeah, what do you call it? I live in New Jersey.
Okay.
You know, I'm a Jersey resident, and I own a business in Philadelphia, so.
Oh, you just own the business there. You own the Canacare. Was it Canacare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own Honeyb. It's the first legal patients medicating lounge in Pennsylvania, where we do, we got a big CBD store. I invented a bunch of different products that are killer, that can knock out like eczema, psoriasis, acne, rashes. I make my own tinctures. Yeah, I mean, but it's not open right now. So, luckily what I did is I lobbied the state of Pennsylvania to allow us to do telemedicine certification. So that's what I'm doing now for the people in Pennsylvania. I'm making the easiest certification you could ever get. Make it as easy as you can get. Today alone, I've had, I think, like 20 plus appointments come in.
Wow.
Yeah. So luckily, I'm financially okay because I kind of figured it out, and I knew I could feel it coming. So that's why I lobbied the state real early, and luckily got him to change the law. You know, because it was before you had to do in-person certifications, and my space is really the space that I have is it's big, but we have these events there. We do 40 to 70 people per event, and people will come in and relax and chill, and some people will go into the medicating lounge and medicate, if they already had the card, and the doctor would do all the certifications, but that's not feasible right now. So we switched it up a bit,
Yeah, I'm doing my physical therapy online tomorrow. I can't wait to see how that goes. Like, how are they going to do this?
Well, it's going to be encouragement, That's I think the only thing somebody can offer you, is like, I used to do this sales class, right? And there was a really cool trainer. The guy would be like, all right, I want everybody in the room to reach as high as you can right now, as high as you can, But he's reaching high, And then, all right, is that it? That's it? So if I had $20 right now, you could reach higher? If I put 20, everybody could reach higher. It's about encouragement. And, it's interesting, this financial encouragement is usually not the best kind of encouragement. The best kind of encouragement is just like you and me, this kind of sickness that we have, that we just can't stop being activists, We just can't stop dissenting.
Speak for yourself. I'm a good boy.
Yeah, right. Says the guy that's out in front of the State House and having a protest every Thursday.
Yeah, we wimped out this year. They canceled my protest, and I just went like a sheep and went home. Yeah, isn't that sad?
It's not saying. What's interesting right now? I mean, there's such a divide, man. There's this, and almost I would say it's pretty much along the lines of probably the emotions people had about the way that this is happening. It's dividing people amongst people to call each other either sheep or dangerous, right? So you're either going to slaughter me or you're the one about to be slaughtered. You understand? So either way, they're never going to come together because the two sides, the way that they're diverse like that, So the key, right, is facts. We need facts to base everything on. We need facts to base our decisions on, which is just crazy right now because they want to sensationalize everything. And I think that without operational facts, people are scared to death. And that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm I told you last time I dedicate my time to try to legalize pot in New Jersey, but this is way more important. So I'm peeling back the onion of what the fuck is going on in the world, and I'm starting to figure it out. And has nothing to do with keeping us safe from a virus.
No, there's going to be people taking advantage of this situation if they haven't already, and it's just going to get worse.
Taking advantage. I mean, this is what we're experiencing is the collapse of the world's financial systems. This is not about a virus. Come on. Are you kidding me? Do you think? Listen, they're collapsing the financial markets of the world. Okay? What does that create? who does that help and who does that hurt? Well, it really hurts the extremely poor, right?
Yeah.
The people that worked week to week, they couldn't feed themselves almost anyway.
Right.
Right. So you're going to have starvation deaths across mass areas in Northern Africa, Central and Sub-Saharan Africa, places where people have to work every day just to feed themselves. Now, you're not allowed to work, got to wear your mask. Well, it's going to kill off a lot of poor people, and economic starvation is proven to kill people. That's why sanctions go against countries, and that's why you can see the death toll and the mortality rate in countries that have sanctions levied against them, that are heavy economic sanctions, have more people die. So less money, less food, less resources, more death. Less vitamin D in humans' bodies, locking yourself inside. Okay? Do you know that the effects of isolation, what they are?
Depression.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what it does to your immune system? It destroys your immune system. No vitamin C wrecks your immune system. So once this is over, no wonder people are going to get sick. You understand? People are drained. So
we need to fortify.
Did you know on March 24th, the CDC put out a memo telling hospitals that they could assume a person had COVID who died? Assume, without a test, or even with a test that came back negative. Do you know that?
Yeah, there was a lot of cases that could have been. Yeah, it's very strange what's going on here.
They're cooking the books.
Yeah, big time.
So here's I'm going to give you some of my research here. Read a book by Bruce Nussbaum. Please, everybody, please. Bruce Nussbaum. It's called Good Intentions. It'll tell you how Dr. Anthony Fauci became a multi-millionaire, close to a billionaire, off of patents for AIDS medications. I think he owns like 16 patents. He owns a patent for what's called interleukin-2. So you ever hear of interferon or interleukin?
Yes.
Okay, so Fauci patented that. That's been used in almost every single AIDS medication as what they call a inhibitor or enhancer. It binds, right? How is he then going to profit off this next one? Well, I can tell you. It's called glycoprotein 120. He owns the patent on that too. And that's going to go in these new therapies that are going to go towards the coronavirus. So, I mean, this is not just him. This is a concerted effort because the pharmaceutical industries are failing. People are doing yoga. People are smoking pot. People are choosing pot over pharmaceuticals, and that's crushing their business. Their users, they're killing them with opioid overdoses, right? So they're running out of, customers to sell opioids to. People have caught on to that game. So they got to figure out a new game. And this is it. So they want people so scared that they think that, and here's the other thing, is the 2 million deaths. Remember that? 2.5 million deaths.
Yeah.
Okay. So mathematically, that their factor is off by I think about 20 times as what we're seeing now. And that's even with cooked books. Right. So that's, if you ask me, right, it's if the weather forecaster said we're going to get 4 feet of snow, and 4 feet of snow is coming, Ed. It's coming. It's going to hit from New Jersey all the way up to Connecticut.
Let me go get some milk and bread.
Yeah, here's a swath. Here it comes. Correct. Get your toilet paper. Get your milk. Get your bread. But we only got a dusting. So, why? What science was the 4 feet of snow based upon? Why doesn't the media ask? Hey, Hurricane Schwartz, you told us there was going to be 4 feet of snow, and there's not. Well, Hurricane Schwartz says that's because you all went outside and farted. And at the time you all farted, it blew the storm back, and you did such a good job at going outside together and farting that you are the reason why there's no 4 feet of snow. There's no 2 million deaths. You stay inside like a good little person. And now, we did this together. But 20 trillion is missing from the economy. 20 trillion, by the way, is more than China's entire GDP.
Wait.
I got sucked out of the economy.
20 trillion?
30 days, bud. How much do you think 10,000 points in the stock market equals?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen of the world, you've done such a good job at eliminating the 4 feet of snow that now we can all smell each other's farts. Go outside and smell each other's farts.
I drive through Linden all the time. I think that's what they're doing there.
Yeah. Oh, but you got to wear your mask. You know, it's the largest. This is. I'm telling you, the largest crime ever in the history of the world. Ever in the history of the world. This is it. So, and who's the criminals? Well, the International Monetary Fund. You ever hear of them?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what happens? Do you know where we're going to get our money from now? Because guess who doesn't have it? The Federal Reserve doesn't have the money to back us. Who are we going to get the $6 trillion from right now? Do you know? Does anybody know this? Does anybody realize how this works? We're going to go to the International Monetary Fund. And then, who is the United States owned by? The World Bank. Cryptocurrency. One currency will be for sure by next year. So, Patrick's predictions. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I've been looking into, the WHO, the CDC, all these folks that perpetuated a lie based on junk science that was bought hook, line, and sinker are, the perpetrators of the largest crime in the history of the world. And I'm not scared to say it. So, criminals. Dr. Fauci's a criminal. We all know Donald Trump's a criminal. Okay? That's pretty obvious. But if anybody wants to challenge, or take a look at, just type in the word Anthony Fauci U.S. patent. See, he's got interleukin 2. I think he's got interleukin 4. He's got GP 120, GP 160. The man is, he is what he is. He is if you think that he's there to help us, here I'm going to give you a statement by Dr. Fauci, October 1983. October 1983, by the way, it was well known at that point that heterosexual females and males could get AIDS. It was well known. In May of 1982, the CDC put out a report saying that at least 13 heterosexual females in the United States had AIDS. All right? So in October of 1983, Anthony Fauci comes out in newspapers and he says, you know what? AIDS is confined. This is his quote. Is confined to homosexual and bisexual men, IV drug users, hemophiliacs, and Haitians. Huh? I mean, how didn't anybody challenge his science at that point? Dr. Fauci, are you saying that heterosexual Haitians are contracting this disease and it's confined to them, but somehow it's not, or somehow it's not adaptable to heterosexual Americans? I mean, wouldn't that be a good question to ask? Wouldn't a good question to be asked? Where's the 2 million bodies? Where do you have a financial interest in this virus, sir? I mean, people want to know if Trump has a financial interest, right? And I hate Trump. God, I hate them all, though. You know what the politicians are? They're a group of people, right now, that are in control, that believe that they're the smartest people in the room. Now, the problem is that they kick out the smartest people in the room because they can't have anybody that challenges them, you understand? So we're left with a bunch of dunces and what they refer to as consensus science, where, unless academia says that what you did is significant, then it's not significant. Greatest example is my Martin Luther King work. You have these group of bureaucrats who decide what's significant historically and decide that Dr. King's first civil rights incident was not significant. Do you know why? Because they're consensus fuckers. Just like a lot of these scientists. Look up a couple names I'm going to give you. Have you heard of Dr. I can't remember this, Dr. Scott Jenner?
No.
All right, look up the interview with Dr. Scott Jenner. This is a physician. Try to find him and see what he says about this. Very clear. He's very clear about it. Just they changed the way you're coding these death certificates to try, and which is against HIPAA. Coding of a death certificate is very accurate. If you miscode a death certificate, you know what can happen as a physician? Did you ever hear of a medical malpractice? So all of a sudden, right, miscoding of a death certificate. Let's say a family has a history of heart disease and somebody died of a heart attack, but they listed as COVID instead. Now, that history of heart disease is somehow interrupted now, and that patient doesn't have that same history. And it completely interrupts the pattern of how modern medicine is done. What about Dr. Oh, man, I don't remember his name right now. There's an Indian doctor from Massachusetts that's running for Senate right now. And he actually was the guy who invented email. Listen to what these folks have to say. There's a doctor that just did a study at Stanford. They took samples from 3,200 people in California, and they tested them all for antibodies. They found that about 3 to 4% of the people that they tested had antibodies already.
How's that possible?
It's possible because this virus has been here for a long time. But here's my theory. My friend. So in August, this is all verifiable, August of 2019, the CDC closed our level 4 biolab at Fort Detrick in Maryland. Why did they close it? Well, it was admitted they closed it because there was compromises in safety in a level 4 biolab that houses, coronaviruses and things like that. Now, they closed that. They literally closed Fort Detrick in August. Can I ask you what was happening right around then? Do you remember there was a strange lung illness happening around then that couldn't be figured out? What was that called?
Oh, yeah. What was that called?
Vape lung?
Popcorn lung. Yeah.
Vape lung, right? What are the symptoms of coronavirus, and what are the symptoms of vape lung?
Oh, they're very similar.
They're the same.
Yeah.
They're the same. This thing's been here since last year. In December, I got really sick, but my friend who was with me at the same time who smoked cigarettes got the same exact thing, and he got annihilated. Now, he went to the doctor, got tested. They couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with him. He was down for weeks.
Wow.
With this dry, sifty cough that you couldn't get away from. I mean, it was like when I remember I can look at my a position in my living room. I remember standing there for like 5 minutes trying to get this little piece of phlegm out of my throat. It was a very dry, very, very strange cough, body chills, things like that, So fever, low fever, I mean, everything the same. So I think it's been here for quite a while. America didn't want to admit it was here. Once it got out, you can't stop it. It's already going. So it's not like they're going to just, boom, to be able to just cut it off at the head. So they used it as an advantage to create this, it's called Event 201, and they had it in New York City. Johns Hopkins University and Bill Gates sponsored it, and it was a simulation of what the world leaders would do if there was a breakout of a novel coronavirus. Do you know that? Event 201, sponsored by Bill Gates. By the way, Anthony Fauci sits on Bill Gates' Foundation board for vaccines. He's paid a lot of money. Do you know that? You didn't know that Bill Gates has Fauci on the board for his vaccine group?
Okay, terrific.
Event 201 takes place October of 2019. There was also the military games in Wuhan at the same time. The military games are like the Olympics for the military, right? Hundreds and hundreds of soldiers, hundreds of people from all around the world. Now, epidemiologists couldn't really figure out how this virus spread all around the world. Well, what better than to infect the military of each of these countries who take it back with them? They talk about how Wuhan was the beginning of this virus, correct?
Yeah.
The military games were in Wuhan in October of 2019. Do you know where the soldiers ate mostly? They ate at the wet market, at the fish market that they talk about started the virus.
Oh, shit.
And all of a sudden, pow, it's everywhere in every country of the world. November 2019. Look it up. Look all this up, folks. Look it up. CDC started hiring for quarantine managers. They're still hiring, right? The job, luckily, went from 11/15 till 5/15 of 2020. So the quarantine management job ends on the 15th of May. Just ironically, the date everybody's talking about opening back up. They were hiring quarantine managers across the country in every single city. The CDC was hiring quarantine managers in November of 2019. December 2019, December 31st is when the Chinese government alerted the what they call the World Bank of Diseases, who then alerts the WHO and the CDC that there was a novel coronavirus, meaning a new version of a coronavirus that they had found in China. Okay, so these events don't line up to me. There's something wrong. The amount of people in the country that have it, it's been here for a while. The people that it's taking out are people that get taken out by flus, things like that. I'm not saying, listen, this thing was nasty, bro, that I had. If I was immune compromised, it would have been not a good thing for me. But it's also not a good thing for an immune compromised person to get a severe flu. That's why they sell millions of flu shots every year, right? What's next year? The coronavirus shot. Woo! That's the big money maker.
Tony says there was a strange nursing home cluster of serious pneumonia at the same time as the vape lung last year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm actually doing requests right now. I have requests in to get information of deaths, mortality, what do you call it, death counts in New Jersey for those months, flu rates, all the other things, but now they've suspended Oprah.
What? Whoa. Wait, what?
They suspended the time limit on Oprah.
Oh, that's good.
No, they suspended, meaning the government agencies don't have to answer your request in the 7-day period or 17-day or 70-day period.
Oh, gee, here we go.
Yeah, so this is this is the truth. So getting any information right now from the government is almost impossible. Phil Murphy was asked the other day at a press conference. The guy says, you didn't fill my Oprah request. Phil Murphy looks at him and goes, better luck next time, buddy. Oh, do you know I do a great Phil Murphy? Did you ever hear him?
You do. I should have put Phil Murphy's head up there.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen of New Jersey. This is your great governor, Phil Murphy. I would like to say happy 420 to everyone. You do see that I did make medical cannabis essential. And that me and Tammy, hey, we're smoking a bong right now. And let me be clear, if you knuckleheads don't know how to roll a good joint, you better step back from the rolling tray. And hey, listen, I like to do in the morning a number two do, and then I like to wipe with the Bill of Rights. That's correct. I actually have toilet paper with the First Amendment written right on it. Just whoosh, put a turd right in there, throw it in the toilet, flush the Bill of Rights down. Goodbye.
You don't like the Bill of Rights, do you, Governor?
Well, let me be clear. The fact is that Governor Phil Murphy, that's above my pay grade. I don't know much about the Bill of Rights other than that, that they were written at one time. And we don't need to listen to them anymore. No, they were written by people who did not. Hey, knucklehead, they were written by deniers of the corona. All right.
Okay, terrific.
I said to a guy the other day, listen, he's like, do you want a corona? I'm like, I can't eat that cerveza. You know, I can't have that. Excuse me, Mr. Grimes. The other day, I decided to take a big risk. Me and Tammy and the kids, we ordered some Chinese food. And when the delivery driver came, he was like walking up to the door and, hey, you better practice social distancing. I made him drop the food right there. I got the robot and sent it out with a hand sanitizer. Sanitized the bag, and I had some wonderful egg foo young. Thank you very much.
Are you staying at Drum Twacket? Is that where you're living now?
Listen, if you knew where I lived, you would be like pretty mad. I have a golf course on my yard. Basketball courts. I actually have a secret room where I meet my girlfriends. Wow. You know, I'm kidding, everybody. I'm kidding. I wouldn't cheat on Tammy. No, I wouldn't cheat on Tammy. She'd cheat on me, though. I mean, look at my teeth. Tammy's like, oh, thank God for face masks, because I don't have to look at your big choppers anymore. Oh my God. Talk about bad breath.
No.
I got to tell you, these last couple of days, I almost made myself pass out. I've got gingivitis, and my gums are swelling with stank. Oh man! Hey, listen. Have you ever seen me take a bite of an apple? I can take half of an apple. One shot. Hey.
Thank you, Governor Murphy.
You're welcome.
I'll talk to you later. That did not just happen. I got to take a break. I can't. What the hell was that? Oh, wow. Was that really Governor Murphy? Oh man, hold on. I gotta take a quick break. Oh, that was too much. Too extra for me. Too extra. No, not this one.
COVID-19. 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 I'm grown. Grown. I'm grown. Grown. I'm grown. Grown. I'm grown. Grown. COVID-19. 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 You fall on your face. I'm blown. The wind of law. Blown. The wind of law. I'm blown. The wind of law. Blown. The wind of law. I'm blown. The wind of law. Blown. Blown. COVID-19. 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 I'm blown.
Oh man. All right. Let's get this up here. Oops. Oopsie. Okay, let's try it again. Let's hope my phones work. Doesn't sound promising.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Ken Wolski.
Yes,
It's Lefty Grimes. You're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, Lefty. How are you?
Happy 420.
Same to you, sir.
How's it going, man? How you doing today?
Actually, busy. Got a couple home projects going on, and in addition to the home projects, I've also got some cannabis projects going on. I just sent off a letter to my first letter to a college president, letting him know that we are conducting a Get Out the Vote campaign and asking for his support. We're very excited about the general election coming up on November 3rd, where there's going to be a constitutional amendment on the ballot to legalize marijuana for adults, legalize cannabis for adults over 21 years of age. So very excited about that. We don't want to take it for granted, even though, we think the poll numbers support us. We're trying to engage the 18 to 25-year-old voter with this project, Lefty.
How are you going to do this online? This has never been done before. Usually you're outside campaigning. We're out there, passing out flyers. You can't do that this year. This is different.
Right. Well, yes, things are different. First of all, we may, by the fall, by the autumn, by September, when kids go back to school, the things may be back to normal. We're hoping for that, and we're hoping to get hoping to identify actual students on campus who will coordinate local events, making sure flyers are up on bulletin boards, inviting us to the campus for tabling events where we explain about how easy it is to register and encourage them to vote and why they should get out and vote. In this election, particularly. In the meantime, of course, the colleges are all shut down in New Jersey. So, however, they are communicating with their students online, and so what we'd like to do is be part of that online communication with their students. So we're asking the college presidents to identify some member of their administration to help with this project. So hopefully we'll get some positive responses from this, Lefty.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, the work that's been done by like Joanne and Jim and the rest of CMM&J. It's just been amazing. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yes, CMM&J. It's a great organization, the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey. We encourage people to come to our meetings second Tuesday of every month at the Lawrence Township Library. We had our first meeting on Zoom this past month, and let's see, when was that? That was on the want to say the 14th, April 14th, we had a Zoom meeting. So that was a good experience. You know, they had a couple of bugs in the system. I think Jim Miller came on board, but his microphone never got unmuted. But but we carried on without him. So we have, you know, and we do other things. You know, we're very active on Facebook at the Friends of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. We have over 3,000 people there on the Friends of CMMNJ, and it's more or less a patient support group, and also a good way to keep on top of you know, all things that are happening with the patient population, including the legalization our legalization efforts. You know, we were formed in 2003 when Jim Miller and I met, Lefty, but we our organization endorsed legalization in 2014, and we've been, you know, strong supporters of the effort to legalize marijuana for adults in New Jersey.
There's a constitutional amendment in November that people need to understand what this is. It's a constitutional amendment, and there's cultivation included in that.
Well, it's very interesting. You know, what people will be voting on will be, let's see, where is this? The ballot question reads: the ballot question that people are going to see at the bottom of the ballot on November 3rd, 2020 is: do you approve amending the Constitution to legalize a controlled form of marijuana called cannabis? And it's going to be only for adults at least 21 years of age. The Cannabis Regulatory Commission is going to oversee the personal use market, and cannabis products will be subject to a state sales tax and possibly a municipality may possibly charge a local tax on top of that. So if we have approximately 7% state tax, there's going to be a local tax of 2%. But you're right, Lefty. You know, this is going to change the Constitution to legalize marijuana for adults. Now, what does that entail? I mean, obviously, you're going to be able to possess it. You're going to be able to buy it and sell it and use it. And there's going to be cultivation involved, too. I mean, obviously, it has to be cultivation involved. Now, there will be the regulations to enact this, you know, assuming it passes, there will be regulations, more or less like the regulations about where for liquor stores, you know. So, we don't know what the actual process is going to look like, but we know that this is going to be a great step forward for access to cannabis and kind of normalizing the use of cannabis in the state of New Jersey.
Get it? Normalize? Get it? They're doing a good job. They're doing another You were just on their show, weren't you? Are you going to be on their show later?
Normal?
Yeah.
No, they had it yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Last night was from Los Angeles Normal. I did listen to their 419 podcast. Eric Altieri, he was very good on there. He gave a rundown about how important it is to work for these legalization initiatives and to keep the ball rolling forward, and that even when you legalize marijuana in a state, you know, you're not done until every state legalizes it in the United States, and you're not done, you know, because there's ongoing issues that need to be resolved, you know, the workplace issues. You know, we started a program for medical marijuana here in New Jersey, and based on the thinking that some people need marijuana medically before they can go back to work. And then, you know, they could be subject to a drug test and they could be fired for using the marijuana. So, you know, there's still a lot of absurdities that have to be addressed even after this progress is made. You know, I've been at this since the 1960s, really. And, you know, there continues to be progress made in terms of making marijuana more or less available to anyone who can benefit from it, or anybody who wants to benefit from it. But we still have a long way to go.
Ken, when you were working in the prison, did you ever have to deal with outbreaks of any kind of viruses or flus in the hospital, and how'd you deal with it? in the
Well,
prison?
Lefty, I was appointed an infection control officer for the New Jersey Department of Corrections back in the 1980s when I was working at Skillman, the training school for boys, because we noticed there was a high number of infectious hepatitis C spreading throughout the population. But what we really realized was why this was spreading. After we started studying it, it was because more people were being admitted to the prison system because they had AIDS, HIV/AIDS, and HIV/AIDS made them more susceptible to the hepatitis C. So there was a hepatitis C outbreak, and that was something that we did have to deal with. And one of the ways that we dealt with it in a number of different ways. First of all, by appointing a very good crew of people to monitor the situation and to try to minimize the spread of these infectious diseases in the prison system, and so that's one of the things that we did. And also, when treatment became available for HIV/AIDS, the antiretroviral treatment that finally became available. We made sure that the inmates got access to it. The private healthcare providers didn't want to provide access to the antiretroviral drugs because they were so expensive, but they had to be taken to court, and then the courts decided that inmates in the state prison system have a right to community standards of care. So that's kind of how and then we started testing more people for HIV/AIDS too. So identifying how big the problem was, treating it when treatments became available, and educating the public about ways to avoid it, how it spreads, and how you can avoid spreading. Were some of the measures that we took. Also, was very interesting. My very first experience was at the training school for boys. We had 200 teenage boys and girls there in Skillman, New Jersey, and there was an outbreak of atypical measles. We had an excellent medical department, but these kids were coming down with symptoms that looked like measles, but it was not the typical. It didn't have a certain one of the really clearly diagnostic things for measles. That was part of it, so they considered it an atypical case of measles. So we had to take isolation precautions for that, and we brought the Department of Health in, the New Jersey Department of Health in. They were excellent, and they helped us, and they communicated with the CDC, and they were the ones who finally diagnosed the problem that we were having. So yes, I have worked with infectious problems in the state prison system, Lefty. And the short answer to your question.
How do you think we're dealing with it today with this issue?
Well, I'm not personally involved in it, so it's a little hard for me to tell. I know that they do have tremendous resources. We have one of the best departments of corrections in the entire country here in the state of New Jersey, and I know that because I was involved with the American Correctional Association when I worked in the New Jersey system. Excuse me, and typically we were the best. We had the best equipment. We had the best training. We had the best staff ratio for corrections staff to inmates. So by those metrics, we were one of, if not the finest, Department of Corrections in the entire country. And it wasn't like we didn't try to sweep problems under the rug. If there was a problem that we identified, we addressed it and tried to deal with it to the best of our ability. They were very good on training. Gosh, when I was there, I had I went for countless hours of training when I was a nurse there, and I went through management training. I went through 6 levels of certified public management training, and that led to my getting a master's degree in public administration for the state, and that was just one person. Of course, the problem is, you pay for this. We as taxpayers, this kind of excellence in equipment and management and personnel, comes with a price tag, especially with our exploding prison population. When I started working in the Department of Corrections in 1984, there were 9,000 inmates in the state system When I retired, there were 27,000 inmates. So just in the 22 years that I worked there, the inmate population tripled, and 86% of them were black and Hispanic. So, unfortunately, a lot of the money there went, to the money for rehabilitation and educational programs for the inmates. That went out the window, and everything was geared towards building new prisons and custody and control of this, exploding inmate population. But now, when I left, there were 27,000 inmates, and now they're down under 20,000 inmates. They started, releasing inmates, and now with this COVID, they're releasing even more inmates, which I think is good. There are a lot of inmates in the prison system who just don't belong there. We did all right. We were a society, and we were happy with 9,000 inmates, and then because of these laws against drugs that were, enhanced penalties for drug violations and enhanced enforcement of drug laws, that's what led to the tripling of the drug population, the tripling of the inmate population. So, anyway, did I answer your question?
Yeah. Are there certain strains of cannabis with antiviral qualities that may help with the COVID-19?
I have not seen evidence that there are particular strains of cannabis that have antiviral properties. However, I did see a very interesting study by an Israeli professor of medicine at Hebrew University in Jerusalem from a couple of years ago, who did a study of how CBD helps to shorten the length of time that a patient who is infected with coronavirus is sick. Now, this wasn't the coronavirus that we now have, the COVID-19. That's a novel coronavirus. But I thought it was a very interesting study because he really talked about, what goes on a cellular level when a patient has an infection and they take CBD, and the CBD, the virus goes into these cells, and it starts to replicate and take over the cell. Well, guess what? The CBD also goes into those same cells, and they compete with the viral load, and they reduce the viral load. So, I think that there is some evidence that CBD can shorten the length of a viral infection, and this is the kind of thing that really should be studied. They should be doing this. They should be doing tremendous studies on this. We have a willing population. We have availability of CBD. All you have to do is put an app on a doctor's cell phone, and he could start monitoring patients who are taking CBD and are infected with COVID-19, and monitoring their progress against the same type of patients in terms of demographics and socioeconomic status who are infected with COVID-19 and who are not taking CBD. And we could have some very good studies done. Why aren't we vigorously pursuing this every avenue? Here they've rushed through studies on clinical trials on anti-malarial drugs, which well, I don't want to comment on that, but they could certainly do the same thing with CBD, and they could really determine exactly how therapeutic this is for these viral infections.
Yeah, Jeff Oakes is yelling at the computer right now because he's been saying the same thing for a year now about all this information that the Department of Health has on us, and they should use it to help.
Yeah, well, that was part of the Jay Koenig law too. They were supposed to start efficacy of marijuana in the medicinal marijuana program. Start studying this. We got 75,000 patients in the state of New Jersey right now who are illegally taking marijuana through these through the medicinal marijuana program. And we really, except for some self-reports every couple of months, we don't have any kind of really rigorous studies, especially comparing how those patients are doing to patients with the same diagnosis, with the same demographics, with the same socioeconomic status who are not taking marijuana. That's the kind of thing that would really show exactly how therapeutic and how useful cannabis and the various cannabinoids are in the management of these conditions.
Rich Morawski says he just subliminally dosed himself with CBD. Do you mean sublingually or subliminally? You mean sublingually, Richie. Richie's stoned right now. We're all high. It's a holiday. We did have an issue to take care of this morning, though. We had a woman named Lori call in, and her son is autistic, and he has issues where he needs to calm down quickly, and it's not quickly enough because he starts to hurt himself. And so we're trying to find him a faster-acting cannabis. And so Rick Naya says we should take the oil that she already uses and use it in an aerosol up their nose, up his nose. Is that the best way, you think, an aerosol?
An aerosol up the nose. Let's see. I'm familiar with, I don't know that I'm actually familiar with that method of administration. I thought I knew most of them. Certainly topical, dropping it. You can put drops in the nose, yeah.
Yeah.
You can do that. Put drops in the ears. You can apply topical, sublingual. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with that method of administration. Sorry, I can't really comment on that. From inhalation, you get relief within minutes. Minutes is not quick enough for this person.
Right. He can't inhale cannabis. He's only.
He can't.
No, he's young and he literally can't do it physically. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably. Well, I'm familiar with sublingual. Sublingual is a very rapid onset.
Tincture's good. Yeah, that's what I said. Tincture would be quick too. It's 15 seconds, right?
Yeah. So I just wouldn't recommend something I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Trying to get some answers for a patient today, because a lot of people out there are suffering. Like not everybody's partying and having a good time today. Some people are laying in bed in pain, suffering, and you know this, Ken. You see it. So.
Yeah, sure. And it's not just partying too. I think that this is a very good sort of excuse or opportunity, I should say, to provide educational programs and events. And I'm using it to start this Get Out the Vote campaign. I'm communicating with college presidents about the need for to engage students to become active and fulfill their civic obligations by registering to vote, and doing it in a way that's going to mean something to them. The 18 to 25-year-olds support marijuana reform. Over 70% of them do. We're the largest demographic that supports marijuana reform, but they're probably the smallest demographic of registered voters. So, people are taking this opportunity not only to party, not only to become well, but to as an educational effort and a way to promote various strategies for further reform of marijuana.
Ken, thank you so much. What's the website again that we need to go to?
Well, it's cmmnj.org. That's us, and we're very active on Facebook. If you give us, there's a blog spot, cmmnj.org blog spot. If you go to that, we have blogs going back to 2009 about all the issues that we were involved with before there was even legal marijuana in the state. And if you give us your email address, you will get monthly updates from CMMNJ about the kind of issues that we're dealing with on a month-to-month basis. It's like coming to a meeting without being at the meeting. But we would also, we also will probably be looking forward to more Zoom meetings. So these are very easy to attend. and you can do so from the comfort of your home.
Thank you, Ken Walski. You're the best.
Well, thank you, Lefty, for all you're doing. And happy 420 to you, sir.
Happy 420, buddy. See ya. Ken Walski. Awesome. Who was that just called me? Somebody just called me. Happy 420. Yes. Happy 420, everybody. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Cindy Ruggiero. Butthole chocolate filled with poop. But they're actually very good. Yummy chocolate peanut butter cups made to look like buttholes. Okay. Hey, that's beautiful. Wow. Oh. Yellow, you're on the air. Oh shoot.
Jeff Oaks, Lefty.
Jeff Oaks, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling?
I'm doing okay, man.
Happy 420, man.
Yeah, same to you. Same to you. Happy 420 to everybody else. Jeff Oaks, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling? You turn you down over here on the iPad.
Yeah, man. How are you celebrating today? I'm going to do some live resin with you. What are you smoking on? I'm going to try to match cannabis with you.
I don't even know what it is. I wrapped it up in some paper and I stuck it in with a few other ones. I don't say the truth. As for treating my cancer, I really don't pay attention too much to strains because I just, for me, I'm after the THC. That's what THC is for me. So that's really the treatment itself. The compounds that is said to reduce or have an effect to reduce the size of the tumors is actually the THC. And I actually I studied like a maniac, like anybody else does. And I did. And thanks for putting me on behind Pat Jeez, and Ken. You gotta make me follow those guys.
Yeah, right. Well, good stuff, right?
Yeah, that's guys around that very involved.
Oh
And
man,
thank them for that.
I always learn something with those guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. And Pat Duff, unfortunately, pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything he said. And I don't even want to bring it up because I'm. I kind of picked it up from you, and it's something that you taught me. And you said, "I'm not having a shitty day today." I'm going to enjoy today. That's what I'm doing. I'm in bed today, and because I feel better when I'm. So everything's okay. And we were on the group chat on the audio group there, and some of us talking, and many of us are like myself, I'm friggin' terminal. Everybody else on there has so many issues, multiple issues. It's very sad, and we all had a good try tonight, and I think everybody's having a better day because of it.
Well, that's what I said before. There's a lot of people out there suffering. That not everybody's, happy 420. There's people that are actually suffering, and I know you're one of them. I'm going to tell you one thing, and it's going to make you laugh. You're making my ears suffer with whoever's talking in the background. Can you go away from that person that's talking?
Oh, it's still my iPad. Why that iPad is that better?
You're making me suffer now.
What's it like now?
That's better. That's better. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So, it's with the way the world is tragic. I never thought I'd see anything like this, and it's ironic that I'm actually, the odds of being on the face of the earth when something like this happens is pathetic. It's like hitting the lottery in reverse. But everyone was saying before how important it is to stay connected and to reach out to people and just text or phone call or video conference and bring somebody back from having a really shitty afternoon, and it doesn't have to be that way. And it goes for the other people that are suffering as well. I know a lot of my neighbors, younger people have children. They're unsure, are the schools going to open? Will my children be safe going back to school? How am I gonna get a new babysitter to watch my kids? There's so many variables to go through, and those people are feeling the same effects that I feel, and a lot of other people in our group here. We live with it. That's how we feel every day. We feel isolated. So, just because you're not disabled doesn't mean it can't affect you, the isolation, and it does. I mean, I know a lot of people are really upset. We see it in the media. But it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. I'm lucky enough today, like I'm in bed right now, but I feel pretty good. So after I get off the phone here and after I watch the rest of the show, I'm going to get outside and get some fresh air. And that's one of the best things that you can do for yourself is to get out and get some sunlight. I think Pat Duff touched.
Pat Duff, man, go out and ground yourself. Go out and do some grounding with bare feet.
Exactly. Walk in the grass.
Yeah, man.
And look up in the air. Take in the view.
Vitamin D, baby.
Yep. And that's what I try to do when I'm healthy enough. And then there's some folks that can't do that, my heart goes out to them, and that's why, when I teamed up with you and everybody else that was going out, that's why it became so personal for me. I don't know why, and I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to everyone that I met along the way. And I'm so glad that I had everybody in this group to comfort me, and I'm glad that I could have the opportunity to ease a lot of people's minds and the pain. With your help, of course, it would never happen.
We're not done yet.
I'm eternally grateful.
God's not done with you yet, Jeff.
It's funny, Lefty. I think you might be right there. Because everybody's talking about this damn Pat Duff was talking about how he had the virus, and it was strange. I mean, I was going through some weird symptoms. A few months ago, when I was taking some different chemo medications, and I was also getting fevers with it stuff, and they didn't even think twice. But when he said he had low grade fevers and chills that kept coming and going, I mean that's exactly what I was experiencing. And I laid in bed for like 3 or 4 days. I was in agony. And I think that was the first time I went to Monmouth Medical. When I changed onto the medication for the chemo. I wonder if I didn't have it, When he said that, I was like, damn. And then how he said how all these things transpired, 5 or 6 months ago, we had people in our house that were people in the family here that were violently ill for days. Mary had said something that she just could not shake, and she described it as, and she will to this day, something that she just could not shake.
I remember that. Yeah.
She described it as a cough. I remember. But enough of that stuff. But
it's interesting. Pat Duff said there was the popcorn lung has the same symptoms.
Yes, and when he said that about the vaping thing, I'm like, man, all that stuff happened at the same time. Mary was sick at the same time the vaping conversation was going on. And then they did come out and admit that they said that, more of us are infected with this, or have been infected, and were asymptomatic than they first thought. So, yeah, like you said, this stuff, I think, was around for a while, and I think all our asshole leaders were playing fucking got you last because nobody wanted to take the hit for it, because they knew the markets were going to take the hit, and it was like, all right, who's gonna say they did it? No one's going to admit it because the stock market's going to go to shit. So they all let it fester. That's what happened. And so our dumbasses, like you said, are going to. I'm going to stop talking about it. Our dumbasses are going to bail out the airlines like we did last time. And it sounds like they put some stuff in the bill that will discourage some of these airlines and bigger corporations not to buy back their own beat down stock. So, but I'm sure they had to put something else in there that's just as bad or worse. So, because we never win. We will never win. So
we go down fighting.
Yeah. to get away from that, yeah. I wish to go back to a year ago when I only had cancer to deal with. It's pathetic. Cancer was easy. I don't know why it came easy for me. I was trying to explain it to somebody on the chat before that I won't go to the outer realm and call it an outer body experience. But when I first got diagnosed, I was probably a day or so away from dying. And it took a long time to process the experience. And I came away from it with a really strong feeling that, our fears belong here on this earth that we're experiencing now, and not in the end when we cease to exist as we are now. And I just and that feeling that I had, it just, I don't want to say empowered me, but it just gave me the ability to. And of course, little Jake, I'm like, man, I can't be outdueled by a little. How old was he when he passed away? Jake, 7, 6.
Yeah.
Jake the Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't be outdone by Jake. I mean, he's my hero. He's one of my heroes. So and there was a photo of him that I got it frozen in the back of my mind, and when he went in for one of his surgeries, he refused to be wheeled in to the operating room. And there's a photo of him shot from behind, and so he's him walking away, and he has the two doctors, and of course they're both 4 feet taller than he is, and both his hands are up in the air holding the hands of the doctors. Probably one of the most powerful photos I've seen. I'm grateful to Jake and his family. They carried on after he passed, and I don't have to tell everybody how painful that must have been for them. And some of the things that they were able to get accomplished, along with our help and a lot of other good people, I benefited directly from it. Being considered terminal, it doesn't do me any good because especially still got so much work to do on the cost of getting it covered by insurance. Lord knows, how that'll ever turn out.
We're paying insurance prices. The prices we pay are the jacked up insurance prices. So it's all set up for insurance to take over, but they're not. They should.
Yeah, but the terminal patient gets the unlimited supply, and I think there's a few other people that I know that have the full allotment, the unlimited supply. But it was even though I can't afford as much as I need or as much as I would like to treat my cancer, it's still a nice freedom to have, and I'm grateful that a lot of people went to bat for one another, and I know a lot of people were upset about the not having the home grow in it. But
me too. But it's in there. It's in the amendment for November. We got to vote for it in November.
Oh, for the vote. Yeah, I'm. That's on my bucket list. Like you said, I still got work to do, Lefty. So who knows? I got a goddamn bucket, and I keep emptying the damn thing out because I keep meeting my goals. The biggest one in the bucket was Moore's college graduation in another month or so, and I think I'm in pretty good shape to make that mark. But her and I kind of high-fived already on that. So
you're gonna make it.
I dumped that out of the bucket, so I got some other stuff in the bucket. I had to put more stuff in the bucket. So, the 2020 or get out and vote 2020 cannabis. That's in the bucket, of course. I'm a little more spirited with my son Liam because he's taking up some real interest in gardening, and that was my one of my favorite hobbies for my whole life, and that's another good thing for people. I know a lot of us can't get out or even out of bed. Some of us, but if you can, just growing your own, even a few tomatoes in a couple pots on a back porch or something. It can give you, some good nutrition. And you can grow a lot of stuff like mint and other things that are therapeutic. Obviously, they won't let us grow our cannabis, but there's a whole lot of other things. Therapeutic.
We need to grow our own. Everything.
And the growing, like I said, the growing itself is therapeutic, and like I said, I've told you before, my plan for this winter, and for people who are concerned about, if you're partly disabled, you can't get out to the food store, and they're easy to grow, giant pumpkins unaffected to. You got to get somebody to lift them up. I had one that was 175 pounds one year.
Oh man.
So I'm going to fill my refrigerator up with frozen, or my freezer up with frozen pumpkins, so I can have pumpkin soup all winter long, and not be fussing about going out in the cold or being exposed to corona or shit like that. Live. I can live a little bit from out of my yard for a while, and that can't be bad because I don't use any. I use nothing. It's all organic. I actually, well, I gotta share this. The gardeners will understand. And I don't do it now because I have been on chemo and stuff. When I was healthy and when I was younger, and I actually got this from Rutgers. I used to use urine to feed the plants in the garden early on when they were smart.
Okay, terrific.
Were small. Yeah, it's like a 20. I think it's a 20-to-1 dilution, and it's one of the best fertilizers that we have. So you folks that keep throwing down your $100 or $200 to buy your fertilizer, you're throwing your money away. You should go buy a bag of weed and piss in your garden.
Sounds like a plan.
But I got the information off of one of Rutgers' publications, and there was the whole list of various aspects. Which one? Oh, pretty good in the garden. There's a whole host of stuff that is great mulching stuff for the garden. One of them, the other one is human hair.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, it is excellent. And also there's a lot of things that they grow better with a bit of calcium in them. So I also at times will throw a few clamshells in the garden, and the rainwater washes them apart over time, and the calcium reaches into the soil. That's helpful as well. So, and I didn't get to take a picture of Mickey's butt. So I was real busy this morning. I don't know. I just Lynn took me out for a ride in the car this morning. We went all the way up by Sandy Hook, but it was beautiful up there. Looking out at the bay, we were right near where we were. We were right near the Borough Hall in Highland, where we were like a month ago.
Yeah.
Except it was light by then, and the sun was up a little bit to see the day. It was gorgeous. But now I'm going to step outside and go walk around my yard a little bit. I think I'm probably going to take Mickey for a walk because he's got to get his exercise. He can't stand sitting in the house either. I think the pets get tired of sitting around as well.
Yeah, I bet my cat's watching me like, okay, when are you going to go out? And I'm like, no. I'm not.
Yeah, he's giving you this stink eye and sticking his butt in your face, right?
I painted his butthole this morning. It's on the yeah.
What's that?
I painted his butthole. I took a picture of it and I painted it, and it's on the website. It's the Tiva Cross group page. If you do that to Mickey or any pet or yourself, you'll win a raffle ticket to the Magical Butter Machine.
Oh shit! I gotta put that in my bucket list. I gotta do that tonight.
Butthole list.
All right, dude.
Go ahead, ask me a question. I dare you.
No, I ain't doing it to you. It's no hang up there. I'm with you on that. I love you, bro.
I love you, bro. I love you, man. Be well. Be well. I'll talk to you soon. Jeff Oakes, man. That guy is a hero. That guy is the real deal, man. He's out there fighting for your rights while he's dying of cancer. And he's still fighting. Still fighting for you, man. to. All right. Hold on. We got still a bunch of people to talk to here. This is great. I'm working on it. Okay. All right. All right. Hello. Is this going to work? Come on, really? Hurtful. 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 Oh, my God. Oh, this is bad. Hang on. This is why I need a producer, because I hate when you have dead air like this, when I'm trying to find a number. Here, I got it right here. Okay. This is a grower from out west. It's Grandma Cat Jeter. I hope Grandma Cat Jeter's available. Grandma Cat is a Fico grandma. She's known for her Fico, which is something that Jeff Oakes uses for his cancer.
Hello. You've reached Grandma Cat Jeter, founder of Deep Green Full Extract Cannabis Oil Products. I rarely check my phone. However, if this is the only way...
Hello.
Lefty.
Hey.
It's Grandma Cat.
Grandma Cat, how are you? Happy 420.
Happy 420 to you, sir. What's the news?
Nothing. How are you doing today? What do you how are you celebrating 420?
You know what? I got meds out to 6 different patients this morning.
That's great.
You know, that's the original 420, right?
Thank you. Thank
when
you for
all
that.
this got started, 50, 60 years ago, as people were rediscovering cannabis, we were looking for recreation, we were looking for spirituality, and we were looking for health.
Yes.
So I decided to celebrate in exactly that way.
Wow, helping patients. That's the first thing we did this morning when we got on the air. We helped a patient get some answers for his epilepsy.
Marvelous.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's come on, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's in a way, you know, current events maybe have us focusing back on this rather than, you know, and certainly we can celebrate the, regardless how you feel about various legalization plans, we can celebrate that is a step forward, even as there are certain steps backwards. I don't sense that this is going to change anytime soon. It's going to be continued relaxing of laws and viewpoints. You know, so it's great. The profits for the state are going to take care of themselves. You know, our friends who are out in this marketplace, they keep their heads about them, they're going to do great. But you know what? Then there's the baseline. Why did we do all this work? So that folks can find comfort, can find answers, can find a healthy way to recreate. Yeah. Life's good. Happy 420.
They say they say all cannabis is medical.
I agree. I self-medicated for years without realizing that's what I was doing.
Isn't that funny? Our body knows what it needs.
You know, I have some patients who come over, and they don't even want to know what the strain is. They just want to open the jar, because the nose knows.
Yeah, I noticed I like the cheesy garlic feet smelly weed lately.
Oh, man, you make me pucker. I'm a sour whatever girl.
I never knew how I described it before, but Nick described it like that to me before, and I'm like, that's exactly what I like. Garlicky, cheesy, feet smelly weed. Yeah.
Yeah, love that cheesy stuff. The funkier, the better.
Oh, man. Why is that? What's in that strain that does that? What is that terp?
You know, I'm going to say that it is primarily the myrcene, that dank smell, the earthy smell.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you start mixing it up with limonene and various other things, and then you start getting those secondary notes, like you say, the garlicky scents, so My guess, though, is it's myrcene, and one of the reasons I think so is it is the cannabinoid, the terpene that is most persistent into full plant extracts. That's the one I turn up the most. It's the one that will survive processing, and it's just that dank. Well, you've had my meds, so it's that dank, earthy smell that we see in full extract cannabis oils, and occasionally in RSOs if they manage to keep their terpenes around.
Right. Is there anything that's good for the coronavirus? I hear there may be some strains for the coronavirus. Is that true?
We are so busy decoding the DNA, RNA, biochemical sequencing of this. It's a tough thing. I don't want to step in front of science. And I've had a number of folks ask me specifically, what would I do? And I said, well, I'm already doing it. Mm-hmm. And that is, I don't know that we're going to get to the science quick enough to know with any specificity which type of cannabis might be more helpful. But here's what I do know. Cannabis is the number one nutraceutical for your ECS, your endocannabinoid system. And what does it do? It helps to keep you well and helps to get you well when you are not well. So from a common sense point of view, while I would not suggest that anyone smoke cannabis while they are sick necessarily because of the lung complications, I would, in fact, encourage everyone to take a microdose of some type of an ingestible. Get a medible, get a full extract cannabis oil, get an RFO, get a soda pop, right? And feed your endocannabinoid system while you're both recovering from the virus and avoiding trying to get it.
Yeah, how are you avoiding it? Are you social distancing? How are you doing it up there?
Let's see. I began my 10th week of isolation on yesterday. I knew that this was going to be a bad one for me. If I get it, it's about a flip of a coin whether Grandma Cat will persist or not. So I went into isolation well ahead, even here in Washington, of most of the rest of folks. Medicine pickups are via a little box out beside my door, and I just don't see anyone. All of my communication is like this, electronic, one way or another. I want to survive this, and there are some of us for whom I told my friends it's a lot like, for you it would be like going out on I-95 and drag racing at 5 p.m., right? Got a 1 in 5 chance I won't get out of it. So I figure that's about the same chances of drag racing on a busy interstate during rush hour. It's no joke for people like me that have lung conditions or immune conditions or are old. I have the trifecta. So I'm just being super careful. Anything I've got to do this 420 can wait till next 420, other than getting those meds out to patients. Anything I'm planning on doing this summer, I want to be here, I'll do it next summer instead.
That's right.
Got to be realistic about this stuff. And let me say, thank you. Thank you to all of your listeners who are healthy and are being careful, trying to preserve their own grandmothers and me. I'd like to thank you an awful lot, trying to keep that curve from escalating so that our first level providers of health care can feel somewhat safer. Thank you to everyone. This is a group effort, and the more we act as a group, the better off those of us who are really endangered by this will be. I appreciate you honoring my life. Now, I'm also anxious to see those folks who are ready and able to get back to work. Let's get some tests going. I want to get my son out of the house.
I'm a little nervous about the vaccine, though. I don't know if I would take a vaccine, and I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about it.
Well, the fact is I was having a discussion about this earlier today out on Facebook, and this virus responds very much like AIDS. Perhaps we will never have a vaccine for this. Perhaps the best we can hope for is treatment so that if you catch it and or catch it again, you will not end up in the hospital on a ventilator or as devastatingly ill as many people have been. And there's many things we can't cure. Common cold would be the first one that jumps to my mind. We merely need to live with them, but we come up with things that allow us to live with them in a way that is much less devastating than what we're going through here in 2020. So perhaps that's our future. It might not be a vaccine. It might be something you get, over the counter at your local Safeway. And, you just dose yourself. And like normal flus, we try to keep from infecting our friends and family. And perhaps that's our future with this. I don't honestly think we know enough about it to really assess it very well at this point.
No, we don't. There needs to be more research.
Oh, tons of research. Tons of research. How are people holding up on your end of the country there, Lefty?
Well, we're doing okay out here. I'm sitting here. I'm building a Lego ramp out of my boredom. I'm decided to help people in wheelchairs. So I assembled this wheelchair ramp, and now I have to disassemble it because I did it wrong, and it's too heavy. I made it too big. It has to be a 7.5-inch step. So in order to do a 7.5-inch step, it's a huge, heavy ramp, and it's just not going to work. So I have to make two.
Sure.
Yeah, it's too big. So I have to make two smaller ramps, and we're good to go after that. So I'm going to start that today, the new ramp.
And you're seriously doing it with Legos?
Legos. It's amazing. Yeah, Grandma Lego taught us about this.
I got to check this out. I haven't been to your page for a couple of weeks, so I'm definitely behind.
Yeah, there's a Grandma Lego in Germany, and she's doing this. She's been in a wheelchair for 25 years. You can look her up on Instagram. And she started making Lego ramps, and it's like the most amazing thing ever.
This is what you needed the German translation for.
Yes, you saw that.
Marvelous. Yes, well, I referred a fellow to you. I don't know if you connected. Sounds like maybe not.
Not
but
yet.
I'm glad you got your instructions.
No, after this week, I'm going to try to call her. I can't call her today. It's too much going on with that. So next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Vermin Supreme will be on Thursday. I don't know if you know who Vermin Supreme is. He's running for president with the boot on his head. He'll be on Thursday.
I will be voting for Vermin Supreme, without a doubt.
I love that
he
guy.
He is well known up in our corner.
Love that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't that be something if Vermin were actually elected in November?
Oh, we need
I think
him.
we'd be much better off.
Yes, we need him so much. It could happen.
I get the social commentary, but, stranger things absolutely have happened. I mean, we just elected a comedian in Ukraine, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe Vermin is our future.
It's just horrible what's happening right now. Scary, and I don't live in fear, but I live in fear for my friends who have issues, and just, a lot of stuff going on that I don't like.
Fear is a good thing. Fear keeps us safe. It's the one that keeps you from poking the bear.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
Despair, though, is the bad thing.
Yeah.
When you fear yourself into despair, all is lost.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and fear appropriately. It's fear of our grandmother's lives or our sick friend's life that is keeping us all home nowadays. But don't sit there in despair. Look what you're doing. You're building ramps. I'm doing an awful lot of stuff here at home that's certainly needed to be done for a long time. I see people teaching other people new skills, new ways of thinking. I've got 3 or 4 different people who have allowed me to stay inside my house for the last 10 weeks. They check on me every other day or so, bring me groceries. They are filling their hope by helping.
Seth wants to be a test dummy. Okay. Big up to all the grandmas and grandpas. Yes. Exactly. And Anthony wants his pony. Okay.
I told someone yesterday who was complaining that they wanted to do something. Now I want a pony too.
Pony and a toothbrush. Yay. I love it.
I am honestly thinking about getting a miniature horse as a service animal. Hemp Fest and a couple of other festivals are big daggone things. It's hard for me to walk from one end to the other. Hemp Fest here in Seattle is about 1.5 miles. If I make that trip 4 or 5 times a day, they can wear Grandma out.
Wow.
So I'm thinking a miniature horse as my service animal and a pony cart. What do you think?
A little card on the back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. That would be
and just pass out meds everywhere I go.
Oh, my goodness. That could be a thing, you know.
I think so. I need to convince the family that a miniature horse in the backyard would not be a bad thing.
It wouldn't. No. No.
But I tell you what, Lucy Lou's hanging on here, and we won't be replacing her anytime soon. She's a good old girl, and she keeps me on the straight and narrow.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Grandma Cat, well, thank you so much for saying hi to us on 420. I really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to promote or a website that we can go to?
Folks can always reach me at Grandma Cat Jeter on Facebook. Please write to me on my page instead of personally. I pay attention to my Facebook page much closer than I do my personal activity. They can see my videos out on YouTube at Grandma Cat Jeter and learn all about Seco and how to make their own full plant extract exact dosing medicines. And, just give a wave anytime you see me if you're one of my West Coast people. Love everyone across the United States. Want you all to stay safe, especially you, Lefty. You're our voice of freedom out there. And
thank you, Grandma Cat.
I'm always here for you. Give a call anytime.
I will. Thank you so much. Have happy 420.
Happy 420.
Yay.
Yes, indeed.
See ya.
You owe me a Coke, brother.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Be well.
Awesome. Grandma Cat is the best. So, yeah, we got Grandma Cat, Grandma Lego. The grandmas are rocking, man. Good stuff. Okay. Let me... Okay. All right. Now, if I had my producer, they'd be doing this for me, but I don't, so here we go. Sorry for the dead air. Let me find... Is this it? No. Hurtful. Okay. I'm looking for a phone number, and I think I found it. Okay. Sorry. Here it is. Okay. Do my phones work?
You have reached the voicemail.
Of course I'm going to leave her a message. Why wouldn't I?
At the tone, please record your voice message. When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
Hi, Mama Bear. I think I messed up the time we were supposed to talk. I probably have you down for 1:45 or 2 o'clock, and it's now 3 o'clock, so I might have missed you. I'm sorry. I'm on Stoner Time. It is 420. We are all on Stoner Time. I thought you'd be on Stoner Time with us together, all of us collectively on Stoner Time, but apparently I must have missed a memo. Or somebody, I don't know, but we're calling you anyway, so call me back if you get this. I'm going to go over today for as long as I can. It's 3 o'clock now. We're actually over. I got a bunch of calls to get to still. I'm not even half done. I was supposed to call Red. I got to call Red now. I got to call Betty. I got to call Red. Mama Bear. I got to call Jay. I got to call Bill. I got to call Joanne, Warren, Chucky, Tommy, New Jersey Weed Man. I got to call him. I got to call Leo Bridgewater, William Haney, Charlena. Oh boy, I'll be on all night. We'll be doing this all night, ladies and gentlemen. Got a lot of great guests coming up still. All right, who should I call next? Betty. Okay, let's start with Betty. I like that. All right, Mama Bear. I'm gonna hang up this message right now. Call me back. My number is 908-616-0682. Thank you, dear. See ya. Okay. Let's find. Okay, Betty. Do 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 do. Hello. Okay. All right. All right. Come on. Paste. Okay. Please work. I beg you. There we go. Betty. Buddy bud buds. Betty Betty buds. Buddy Betty buds. Betty Betty buds. Betty Betty buds. Oh, Betty.
Hello?
Betty?
Hello.
Betty Buds, it's Lefty. How are you? Happy 420.
Happy 420. I am driving at the moment. I will be parked in about 10 minutes. Can you give me a call back? I am arriving at Ed's over at the Wheatman's.
Oh, good. You can pass the phone off to him because he's on my list of calls today. So when you
Okay,
get...
well, call me back in 10 minutes. I'll be with him.
Yeah, that's perfect. I need to speak to both of you. That's great. Great. Two birds with one stone. Two birds with one stoning. Get it? Get it?
And I'm going to have somebody special with me. One of my Canna gals. She's meeting me there, too. And she is the queen of Canna cuisine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, she is. I am about to enjoy some beautiful pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, my.
Yes. Oh, yes. All made from scratch. Everything she makes is from scratch. Yep.
All right.
So, okay, call me back
I'll call
in
you
a few
back.
minutes.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Okay. All right. So I have another. We can do this one. Okay. This is a very important call right here. This is a good one.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
Hurtful.
system. 85.
I think his phone's off.
Tone. Record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hello, Will Cunningham. This is Lefty Grimes. Happy 420. We're here on the podcast. I was trying to... I didn't know what time I was supposed to call you. I probably did write it down, but I'm on stoner time, and you know how that goes. So if you get a chance to give me a call back, that would be awesome. Will Cunningham's running for Congress in the 2nd District in New Jersey. He's running against Jeff Van Drew. Jeff Van Drew is one of those people who doesn't seem to like darker people, for putting it nicely. He voted against all the immigration laws that were put out in front of him. And he jumped ship from Democrat to Republican. And I saw him on his knees at the Trump rally. Jeff Van Drew. It was pretty disgusting to see that, actually on TV, watching a politician do that. That was pretty scary. So we're all voting for Will Cunningham in the 2nd District of New Jersey to represent us. And we need more support for Will Cunningham. He was when he was a child, he was homeless. Homeless child who goes to school and gets a 4.0 grade point average. Come on, man. This guy pulled himself up by his bootstraps, got himself a great education, and now he worked for some of the greatest senators and politicians in history, and now he's running to represent you. He's a young, fired-up guy. He's ready to fight for you. This is what we need. So thank you, Will Cunningham. Give me a call back if you get a chance. My number is 908-616-0682, 908-616-0682. Thank you. Hello, you're on the air. What was that? Hello? Okay, that's not going to work. I don't know what that was. Well, that's not going to work. I don't know what that was. I think that was Slav calling me. I think Slav just called me. Slav, your phone's not working too well. I'll try it again, but we'll see. Hi, Slav. Hold on. Happy 420, bro. How are you doing? I can't really hear you too well. I can't really hear you. Hold on. Here, this is Slav. He's on here, but